Jerry's substitute.
Hello, and welcome to the Saladcast on Friday, the 31st of July, 2026. I'm your host, Dan Train. Joining me today is Zachary Burgess.
Late again.
And Robert Kemp.
Well late. Mostly a week late.
I mean, just pretend that it was one of those weeks where Rob forgets to upload the podcast. Pretend we aren't actually recording this on Friday. It's just Rob forgetting to hit the upload button.
Oh yeah. That's totally what happened. And we know about it in ahead of time because we're recording this a week ago.
Yep. Clearly.
Yeah, we had a bit of a utility problem. That meant I couldn't record anything.
We couldn't utilize the utilities.
Yeah. Good job, UK. And your infrastructure. That you may need to invest more in politics. Politics. Oh, how is everyone? Have you enjoyed the second hottening?
Oh, God.
It's not. I mean, it's not been great, but it's not been as bad as last time.
It's not been as bad. Let's face it.
Although I did have one day where I was just like, it wasn't that hard. Like, obviously, it hasn't even got over 30. But like, I was going to go out, and so I was like, I'm going to put my shoes on, and I'm going to go out, and it's like mid-afternoon. It's probably fine. I'll just walk in the shade of the buildings if the sun is actually out, which it wasn't even. There was some cloud cover, but like, as soon as I was putting my shoes on, I was just like immediately sweating, and I was like, "Wow, what the hell's going on? Is it just like humid?"
Yeah, it's been crazy muggy, just absolutely thick, and not the good kind. Just horrid. Doing anything has been like, it's not that hot today. Yeah, Marzi, I'll go outside and race with you for a bit, and then you do like a few steps, and you're like, no, this is a terrible idea. So,
yeah, it was dramatic.
Yeah, it must be the humidity, right? Any kind of movement, like walking around. I usually walk around the park. When you get back, it's like, oh man.
Yeah.
But then you've got all the sweat. You can sit in front of a fan, and it actually cools.
Yeah.
Thanks to the power of sweat.
Well, assuming it's not humid enough to prevent you from properly evaporating the sweat.
That's true.
I'm gonna have to invest in more fans for this office that function. Like
Classic problem.
I've got 3 of them in here, but 2 of them are basically just old man breath. Just.
What you actually need is a real fan, not a USB fan.
Or maybe. I mean, yeah, there was one day this week where the family were out, and so I just hoofed the big old Dyson fan into the doorway of my office and just had that blasting at me.
Yeah.
And that was quite effective.
That does work. I think my fans work for me up to about 30, 31 in here, but the last heat wave it was like 34 in here,
just nothing.
and that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Nothing works.
There is no relief.
Yeah. And like outside this time around there was breeze for me anyway, so that made it much better.
There was a little bit here, but there was some days where it was just perfectly still and thick, and it's like, well, okay, can't really do a lot about that.
The thing now is the park is like, brown. It's not green anymore.
Exactly. I was trying to explain that to Milesy the other night. We were in the garden. It was just like, this is still grass, mate. Like, it may be a different colour, but it is still grass.
Yeah, it's definitely dying in the park here.
Yeah, welcome to Browntown.
So you're quite far from the dramatic national news.
The wildfire. Yeah, far enough. Anyway, yeah, far enough. I know friends and family that are, within smelling distance, shall we say, of it.
Wow.
It's like, yeah, it's pretty smoky out here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, big old fires. I did see one like conspiracy theory about it. It's like, they're just burning space for redevelopment. Yeah, of course, right, sure.
Right.
Just burn it all down and then we can build on it.
I don't think that's how that works.
No.
I mean, I don't think you'd have that much problem just building over heath anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a kind of important natural environment in this part of the country, but it's still a kind of shitty one.
Well, yeah, and that neck of the woods has fairly I don't want to say swampy land, but you know what I mean? It's the pretty lowland areas, right? Very flat. It's like somewhat, I would imagine, and this is me just theorizing, somewhat susceptible to subsidence and stuff as a result. So it's probably not the best area to be building on, but.
And you'd be building it basically in the middle of nowhere anyway.
Yeah, it's not connected.
That's not where you build towns.
It's hugely unconnected by modern standards. It's the retirement quarter of the country, I guess.
The only thing they're building there is nuclear power plants.
That too. So I guess there will be some need to be connected.
Yeah. Well, that'll be a whole thing, right? It'll be like traffic. I think when they built Sizewell B, it was like loads of traffic on the A14 and stuff. So
yeah, well, they're redoing a bunch. They are redoing the roads and stuff around there to some extent to cope.
To support that. Yeah. Interesting.
So yeah, it's a big old deal. I don't really know enough about that particularly, but I know people that do and are quite annoyed by the whole thing because of course they are. Anyway, I'm about to do a taste test.
What, right here, right now?
Right here, right now.
We're doing podcast drink reviews. You haven't done that on Endfield.
Yeah, I've done all these for a while. This isn't a beer or anything this time. Like because it they had like loads of them that were trying to shift Asda. I realised I'm a big fan of regular Coke Cherry, and of course Coke Zero Cherry is also quite nice, but I've never had a Diet Coke Cherry. And I can, the aroma is quite potent, I'll put it that way. It can be like a little bit, quite a distance away from me, and I can smell the cherry on it.
Are you familiar enough with the taste of ordinary Diet Coke to be able to tell if this...
I think so, yeah, because like Diet Coke is like, for me, that's the biggest difference, right? Like Coke to Coke Zero, you can tell the difference. It's in the kind of syrupiness of it, not necessarily the flavour, right? It's a mouthfeel thing, more the difference between full fat Coke and Sure. But Diet Coke has always been a very different flavour, right? It's been lighter, almost no flavour at all.
It definitely has a taste.
It has a taste.
Diet Coke. It's just
and it's not for me. So like Coke Zero was like a revelation in my fizzy drink world.
Are you sure? I mean, there's no way to know, is there? But are you sure that's purely on the taste, or is it that like they clearly marketed Coke Zero towards men?
Oh no! It definitely tastes different. It definitely tastes.
Oh, it does. Yeah, but are you sure that's why you like it?
No.
There's no way to know, is there?
There's no way to know.
It's too late.
There's no way to know. No, I don't think I was particularly... Well, in fairness to what you're saying, I don't think I was particularly drawn in by the classic Diet Coke ads.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah, they weren't really going for the man audience. But no, I think if I liked Diet Coke, I'd like Diet Coke, right? It's like, who cares?
How do you know? Yeah, I guess so. But then if you combine cherry with Diet Coke, what do you get? Let's find out.
It is, well, it's kind of exactly what you'd expect. It's like the cherry is the cherry is stronger than what you would the cherry sensation is stronger than it is in a regular Coke cherry, for sure. But that's just because I think the Diet Coke has a lot less actual cola flavor. So it's much closer to just a straight up cherryade, which isn't a bad thing. But it's not as strong as a traditional cherryade either. Like Fanta. Do Fanta do cherry? But if Fanta did cherry, it's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right. It's not full Coke cherry. I still prefer that.
That's the review. For some reason, I sometimes remember the way that you, Rob, said, presumably on a very early episode of this Saladcast, you reviewed something, and I'm going to say it the way you said it, Coca-Cola Life.
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. That was like the green can, right?
Yeah, it was like green cans, but I just remember you being like, Coca-Cola Life.
Coca-Cola Life.
being like, that's weird. And of course it was weird.
It is,
and then disappeared soon after, yeah.
What was that even about? Like, were they trying to say it's like organically grown Coke? Or like...
I think it was just a different combination of sweeteners, right?
Oh, maybe it was like, like fructose based or something.
Yeah. I think it did have sugar in, but not as much as full fat. It was like a blend of sugar
like halfway or something.
Stevia or something, yeah.
Stevia, yes, it will be that. It will almost certainly be that.
Yes.
God, that was a phase.
Stevia. That's all I remember. All I know about stevia is that, and it's a plot point in Breaking Bad, which you haven't seen, I guess.
No.
But there's a memorable moment with the stevia.
Stevia. Oh, I don't know how I mistyped this into my phone, but I wrote Coca-Cola Liffle.
Liffle? Coca-Cola Liffle. That'll be the new one.
I'll try some Liffle.
Coca-Cola Life. Anyway, so now we know what cherry. How's it?
You were absolutely right. It was stevia and sweeteners of some description.
Right.
Like it was buying into the stevia trend.
Yeah, that didn't last.
Stevia. I remember stevia like actually just not tasting very good.
No.
Right, that was the problem. Like, it wasn't actually a replacement for just straight up sugar, like everyone said it was. It was kind of just not nice.
Yeah.
Fail. It's not aspartame. Give me that cancer.
Yeah. Is that what's in Diet Coke?
I think so. Or
think
like
so, yeah.
Coke Zero. I think it's like it's just an absolute wash of aspartame.
Yeah. So how is this written on the can? Is it Diet Coke Cherry or Cherry Diet Coke or
it's Diet Coke Cherry.
Diet Coke Cherry? Okay.
In probably slightly awkward colour scheme, right? Because it's like the cherry is still in that sort of purple colour they use for cherry on the grey Diet Coke background with a different colour for the Diet Coke text. It's weird. I'm not sure I'm into the branding, but says what.
Do you ever have the gold? The no caffeine.
The no caffeine. I know I've never had the. Well, I've not gone for the no caffeine. I think I've had it, but I don't remember it actually tasting any different. So I've got no beef with zero caffeine version. Do
you drink any fizzy drinks, Zach, in your house, or do you keep it to the tea?
Yeah, I only drink tea. Unless I'm at Rob's, in which case I'll occasionally drink some of his Coke.
This is true.
Or I'll just drink Rob's tea, alternatively.
Also true.
Drink tea at his house. Drink tea wherever.
Drink tea every day.
Drink tea literally right now on this podcast.
That is your go-to? But you don't have tea with a meal or whatever, and you just have water?
No, I have tea with everything.
Oh, you have tea with
all day, every day.
Tea with tea with burgers.
Are you like
tea with pizza?
Do you break out of like English breakfast tea at all? Are you just like straight up? This is tea. There's no other tea. I'm having this tea.
Well, it's just whatever generic medium tier brand has a big box available at the shop.
Yeah. So that's English breakfast, right? Tetley's and
not always.
Tips and yeah, isn't it? I thought for all of those.
I mean, I would argue that none of those are really English breakfasts.
Oh, really?
They're just generic. They're probably just like all the tea leaves that no one else wants mix.
But they've got to be consistent, right? Otherwise these big brands wouldn't...
Sure, but that's why you mix them all together and it evens it out.
It's just always evens out.
So you don't drink Earl Grey or anything?
No, I don't drink any real, actual proper tea.
Right. Do you like real proper tea? Is it just like because it's inconvenient to make? Or...
Well, sure, there's that.
It's not necessarily, because like Earl Grey, you don't need milk even, really.
Right,
so
yeah.
It's easier to
Well, that would be
anyway.
half the problem, because I like milk.
Yeah, fair. I mean, you can put milk in Earl Grey, but
yeah. I don't see you as a fruit tea person, like a lemon tea. Like, yeah.
Do you guys know my one joke that I can remember? Have you heard me tell my one joke that I can remember?
Probably, but I can't remember it. So you've got the advantage on this.
Podcast listeners. Why do Marxists only drink herbal tea?
You have told me this joke, but I can't remember it.
Because property is theft. That's the one joke I can remember.
Superb. Oh, snap.
My hairdresser gave me a matcha tea bag in a paper thing, so I need to try it. See, but that, I think, has quite a lot of caffeine in, I guess, for tea.
Okay.
So I need to maybe drink it in the morning.
A morning tea.
Yes.
I don't like tea. I liked that Earl Grey lager that Adnams did for a bit. That was nice. But generally, yeah, I don't like tea.
Not for you.
Nope. Just never really got it. Like the only tea I've ever sort of, I have it like there's a toleration of tea at a certain point, but that point normally involves a boatload of sugar.
I don't know what, like, because obviously drinking lots of tea is very English, right?
Sure.
But like, my family didn't, and evidently your family didn't, right, Rob? Is that true? Like, cups of tea throughout the day?
Yeah, no, my mum and dad were pretty into tea.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Yeah.
Because my parents didn't. But like my granddad would drink tea all day, right? But my parents didn't. So I didn't get into it until I started working, and it was in an office, and it was like you'd have a tea break, like a tea or rounds of tea in the office, and then every office got those zip taps where the you don't boil the kettle because it comes out instantly.
Yeah.
Boiling, and then that ruined the whole tea round situation.
Sure, because it's too fast.
Yeah.
You're not waiting for the kettle. You're not having your water cooler moment waiting for the boil.
Exactly. Yeah, waiting for it to boil and then making it for everyone else and then bringing it to everyone's desk or whatever, or all sitting around the...
Well, you see, when I worked in Cambridge, we kind of like got around that by like not making instant coffee. We got a coffee machine in, right? So it was just like you're waiting for the coffee brew. So that did actually take time.
Right, yeah.
So we got that back.
It's just not quite the same as the coffee round. Like, that's a special thing, I think, that is gone. It's similar to the round of beers at the pub sort of situation, but...
Yeah, no one does that where I work now. Like, apparently it's still a thing for Gnome. Like, there's still tea rounds and biscuit rounds even.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds dangerous. But, yeah, no one does coffee rounds where I am or anything. It's just like, go out yourself. And that is kind of a shame. It's a little bit weird, but maybe that's just modern big culture, I guess.
I do the ludicrous. I mean, depends how busy we are, but if I've got like 1-to-1 meetings with people or whatever, it's the go out for expensive London coffees and expensive.
Right, yes.
Which is very common.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ludicrous. It's literally, I don't even get like I'll often get coffee without milk or whatever, like, and even that is reaching up to the £5 level. It's ludicrous.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, if you're getting like a latte or something, it's like, jeez, it's ridiculous at this point. But yeah. But it has also made me quite snobby because I can't deal with like Starbucks or Costa or anything because the coffee places are so much better.
Yeah, I bet they are.
London, and I'm not paying.
Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't crossed that coffee threshold just yet. It's like I'm quite happy with a Costa. It's
yeah.
In fact, it's probably my favorite of the big chain coffees.
Yeah, I never, because the one time I have chain coffees is when I'm like at a train station getting a train to, leaving London or whatever. But I usually go to Starbucks then. I should try the Costa maybe.
Yeah.
I
don't know, something about its blend. It sort of gels with me a bit better. I think Starbucks is it's still alright. I'll still drink it, but it's a little bit bitterer. And
it's very dark and
it's quite a dark roast. Yeah. And then for me, Nero is a step further. Like Cafe Nero, for instance, that's even more bitter than even. And I'm not a huge fan of Nero.
I haven't had one of those for a long time.
Yeah,
I always just remember that one of my favorite bands, the Pixies, from Boston in America from the late 80s, with the Kim Deal, the bassist. She left the band in a Cafe Nero in Monmouth. It's such a cool band, and so like they're kind of exotic and stuff, and then he always has all these Spanish lyrics and everything, and it's all really cool, and it's like, that's where they broke up, in a Cafe Nero.
Cafe Nero.
Which is also ironic because Monmouth has a really nice coffee brand called Monmouth that's really posh.
Oh.
But they weren't in Monmouth coffee. They were in Cafe Nero.
It's better than if they were in McDonald's.
Yeah. Fair. But that would have been American, you see, whereas Cafe Nero is, despite the name,
Yeah, fairly British.
very British. Yeah.
Yeah.
Coffee and tea.
Coffee. I've been. Did I mention? I might have mentioned it before, but I found a sort of like instant cold coffee, or no, I say I found it. Gnome found it. That's actually pretty good. Like, and I'm gonna say the forbidden word, Nescafe.
Oh
like,
yeah,
they actually do a like a like a concentrated cold like coffee mix, espresso mix that you just put on milk with some ice, and it's pretty delicious. Has to be said. Like, yeah, for an instant coffee mix, like it sort of reminds me of like camp coffee, I guess, or the concept of camp coffee, right? Like where it used to be these weird bottles of fluid coffee, and it's like this is kind of that, but like tasty.
I'm getting violently spammed by adverts for those at the moment on YouTube.
What the
Can't they tell
every
that
other
you-
advert is
all
one
you
of
want
those.
is breakfast tea, or not even breakfast, dregs of breakfast tea is all that is going to appeal to you, Zach.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to you very well.
Close, but not quite.
But if you're Zach's level of tea drinking, are you like actively searching for tea? Like, is his internet history have any involvement with tea? Like,
No.
Exactly. Like,
This is clearly
absolutely.
them picking up on like mic inputs while we're recording this podcast or
Yeah,
whatever.
absolutely.
That's going into my Google account.
But could they
searches.
influence your family's weekly shop if they started heavily advertising Yorkshire tea versus PG tips or whatever?
Well, not. I mean, I don't know if it could be IP based. I guess. Like maybe I'm not getting ads that are only for me in this house.
Do you think there's like a higher rate of people buying Yorkshire tea in Yorkshire? Or are they like, nah, that's not proper Yorkshire tea? What are you talking about?
Yeah, you might be right. Yeah, they might see through it.
Yeah, exactly.
As not authentically Yorkshire.
They'll see through that Sean Bean advertising.
I mean, I was only just realizing that, like, obviously Yorkshire tea is grown in like India, right? But I was only just realizing that, like, well, tea comes from China. Like, that
Right,
even the fact that it's grown in India isn't authentic.
Sure, yeah.
Well, I mean,
Not originally, I suppose.
I guess I don't know how far those bushes would have spread, like in the nature.
Naturally.
Like,
Yeah, I
did
think
they
it was the
grow
British
around
being
the
like,
Himalayas or whatever?
we don't want to pay the Chinese for this tea.
Well, sure, yes.
We're running out of
We
silk.
grow it ourselves.
We'll
It's the
grow it
same as
ourselves.
silk. It's like you just
Yeah.
steal it and then make it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. There was a literal guy that went around China stealing all the tea. As in, the plants.
Yeah.
So that they could then just
Cultivate it themselves.
steal it and make it their own.
There you go.
Speaking of YouTube adverts,
Yeah.
that's my part of this podcast, where I complain about goddamn AI adverts again. Because, like, I feel like, obviously these AI adverts are shit. because they're still using the shit versions of AI because they're cheap, obviously. But, like, they're shit in such a specific way that I'm starting to feel they might be working on the old Nigerian Prince email scam method, where they're like deliberately shit.
Yeah,
Right.
that makes sense.
Because the thing with like all of the most recent ones is they all just have AI voiceovers, but like every single one of them has some kind of spelling or pronunciation error. Where it's just like, this can't have slipped through accidentally, surely.
Yeah, an LLM is probably not going to spell it wrong, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could type it wrong into the LLM and then like not check the output, I guess.
That is odd.
But the most egregious one just recently was, I only noted it down specifically because it was for, relatively speaking, a kind of real brand, but probably it's still a shit mobile game that they've passed off onto like a mobile game company, obviously. But it was Age of Empires mobile. And literally the first, this one wasn't even the voiceover that was wrong, it was the image on the screen that was wrong. Because, like, literally the first thing they pop up where they're showing the different civilizations, it just says, France. And it's like, great. You failed to spell France or French.
I love that.
Brilliant.
France.
But yeah, it's like, great job, shit mobile game company, I guess.
I mean,
tarnish the brand as much as tarnishing it anyway by making a mobile game.
Yeah.
French sounds like what a World War II inspired anime might call France.
Yes. So you have to call it something similar, but not quite the same.
But not quite, yeah.
Like a Valkyria Chronicles style.
Yeah. Something
Yeah.
like that. The French forces.
The French forces.
No, except it wouldn't be. Well, if it was French, you couldn't then say French, right? So it would be like Frencian or something.
That's still
French.
kind of too close, though.
Yeah, the Frencian.
I think you have to, if you're going to, you have to get rid of the FR and change that to something else.
It'd be like
No, flip them around. Make it Granch and Fermony.
Grants. I like that. That was pretty funny.
I still
yeah.
sometimes watch some YouTubers that talk about Magic the Gathering or whatever after looking at, what was it, Arena?
I'm not looking at the horrible disaster that's going on there right now.
Right. Well, it's just rolling disaster, right?
Yeah.
Wait, what
But
is
you just
that?
keep adding more to it.
What's the latest one, Zach? I didn't even know.
I thought Arena was good. What's happened?
Oh, no, not Arena. I mean, the design of Magic sets in general and the fact that...
Right.
I presume that's what you're talking about, Zach.
The sort of, what are they called? Like the secret something? They're like weird...
Oh, there's secret layers, but I mean, that's one thing. But more is that the licensed stuff has totally dominates standard now, and
Right.
they're getting more and more off base in terms of theme. Like,
Okay.
so originally it was like Lord of the Rings. That makes sense as a Magic set. Okay, that makes sense.
Final
But
Fantasy,
nowadays,
kinda.
yeah, Final Fantasy kinda.
Yeah.
But they're on like Star Trek. It's like,
right.
what?
Yeah.
Shit like that, or like loads and loads and loads of Marvel superhero stuff.
Yeah. Well, I
Like a
bet Marvel are
bajillion
super
veg-
keen just to be like, yeah, do what you want.
Yeah. And of course that infects like Arena and stuff. But what was you referring to, Zach? Do you know
I mean, that
specifically?
is what I was referring
Oh,
to.
okay.
Like, they're continuing to add more and more random topics and fandoms and stuff into their mess of a world now.
So there's that combined with there's always some fuck up in terms of card design where there's one card that screws up the whole format or something.
Sure,
and they
always.
keep banning it. There was one from Final Fantasy that was really, really bad, but they banned that one. But it makes those two things combine because if the broken card, which is likely, is a important character from that franchise, it makes it more difficult for them to ban for like
Sure.
franchise reasons, right?
Yeah.
And in the case of Final Fantasy, it was VV.
Yes, I did hear about that one.
Yes,
Yeah.
and VV was broken, and that's a problem because it pisses off.
It would piss
You know.
me off. Yeah, I'm a VV.
Exactly.
Defender.
It pisses off it pisses off the people who spent money to buy the VV because they like VV, and also the people that bought it expensive because it was really effective. And it would piss off Square, right? But they've had to because it broke the whole game, right? And this just keeps, and it'll happen again. There's like, oh yeah, Avatar, which is Avatar: The Last Airbender,
Yeah,
which
I mean
was a good idea.
that seems like
That's
a good fit. Yeah,
That's nice. That was a nice fit, and it was really well designed. But there is one mana dork called Badgermole Cub that is
Badgermole.
broken, and the problem with that is it's uncommon. So it's expensive to get a full set of it, but everyone had to have it because it's just really powerful. Anyway, so that just keeps happening. But what I was going to say is that human beings, not AI, but there are the YouTubers who just comment on Magic stuff, this kind of stuff all the time. But it's not just one of them, multiple of them who are otherwise quite good. It's almost like they're doing it specifically to annoy me. Is that like, obviously there are all these cards with names that are like fantasy names that are like made up, not real words and stuff and combined. And so they're like weird things. So they have, whenever they talk about card names, they say them out loud.
right.
And I swear they like deliberately mispronounce them. They
Right,
always
yeah.
say it fucking wrong. Like you could, there's one of them is like clearly a giant tortoise, and the name is like Ancient Adamantoys, right?
Okay,
Yeah, classic.
But they will always say Ancient Adamantios or something, or like translate like every time consistently, and it's like, why?
I mean, that's the Adamantoys isn't even like
no, it's
original
like look at the card.
I mean, that's what I mean. It's not even original to Magic, right? Adamant has been in Final Fantasy. It's been all over the place.
That's from the Final Fantasy set, right?
Okay, yeah.
But this guy doesn't know Final Fantasy, right?
Adamantio.
And he's just reading the card, and he reads it wrong every single time, or maybe he read it wrong the first time, and he just does it consistently.
He's just doubling down.
And there's so many of them. There's one which is like boiler bilges or something, and he calls it like boiler biggles every time.
Well,
that one is funny.
Where I just read it wrong and then I just go with it.
But like, there's thousands of cards, and I swear he's like deliberately. And then another thing, just while I'm complaining about this one, I mean, there's loads of good ones, and a lot of them do it. He's not the only one that does this to mispronounce things. But this guy's got this turn of phrase, and I don't know why it annoys me. But you know the phrase like, "Oh, in general, this is the case," but
right? Yeah.
Specifically, this is the case, right? But he'll say in general, but he'll say in specific, this is the case.
Well, I mean,
instead
of specifically right.
Is it?
Yeah,
in specific?
Yeah. But that's not a real thing. I mean, it makes sense in the construction, but like, so instead of saying specifically or in particular,
yeah, okay, I see your point.
He'll say in specific.
It took
I mean, in specific is the pair to in general makes as much sense as if you're saying
it
specifically,
makes sense,
you say
but
generally.
it makes sense, but it also isn't a thing.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
It took me a little while to parse that simply because I don't think. Yeah, you're right. In specific is obviously a valid sentence, but like it wasn't obvious to me immediately. Like my brain had to go like, does anyone say that? No, they say specifically.
They say specifically, or maybe they say in particular.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. But in specific, which does make sense logically, I think is not a real thing.
Yeah.
No one else. And it's just, he says it all the time. Anyway.
But then I'm kind of behind the YouTuber on some of this, because there's an element of like, you need a thing. Right, like as a creator, you kind of need a thing sometimes.
Yeah,
and if they build your whole thing around like one specific thing.
Well, this leads me to my second question. Right, like is everyone mispronouncing those cards the same way? Has it become like a weird like community joke?
I think there's too many cards
that they're all called Biggles. Like,
I mean, that one might be. I think maybe originating with this one guy, but like. There are just too many cards that they consistently mispronounce. I don't think they all have, one person did it and then it became a meme.
Sure.
There's just too many cards where this is the case. And this guy does do, to your point, Zach, he does do the thing where, so he always, it's a YouTube thing where you always introduce in exactly the same way. Or you have a little... I've noticed this in general, but presumably there's a science behind this, but you know how every video starts the same and with some kind of hook? Or something.
Or everyone signs out with the exact same phrase.
Exactly. So he introduces himself in a really annoying way, but consistently. Yeah. Right? So at first you're like, what the fuck? And after a while it's just, just get used to it.
What is the science behind that? Like, I don't know, like... Do you need a constant intro? Because in which case, like, I am so anti the science.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's our whole YouTube channel in general.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I don't know what the science, but like, even in those classic, Plinkett reviews, he just keeps saying about the Star Wars, doesn't he? Like, people don't like things that are different, right? And then he goes and says his catchphrase, like, anyone want a pizza roll or whatever. It's like, it's the same reason why catchphrases are useful and popular, isn't it? It's like, and you can think of all the examples. So many of them do it. Like, Doug DeMuro does this thing, right? For example.
Yeah.
There's just so many of them.
There's loads.
Well, I start this podcast with the same phrase or whatever, but,
Sure. Zach goes, hello, internet. And,
which is...
way of video.
Yeah. And that's from CGP Grey, isn't it? That's what he says, hello, internet, right?
I didn't get it from there, but it's also his.
I kind of get it, but also, like, I think with me, when I, like, stumble on a catchphrase or stumble on something I'm saying... more than once, like I get cringed with myself.
I know, it's super cringe.
and I can't do it. Yeah,
I find it cringe, but it works.
That's why my outros are so off the cuff.
I think it's better this way. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I definitely prefer it this way. The unprofessional way.
Yeah, the unprofessional way, superior.
You don't know what you're going to get. That's like a box of chocolates. One of them might be salad.
One of the chocolates in life might turn out to be salad.
You bite into it and it's actually just a chocolate-coloured tomato. It's just like...
Oh. I mean...
What, chocolate tomato? Might that work? No.
I'm just thinking of like fondue. You do strawberries and stuff. You
Strawberries
could do a
work.
tomato, couldn't you?
I mean, you could try it. I don't know if a tomato is sweet enough to really... I mean, maybe it'll work. It seems like an odd combo. I'm sure Heston Blumenthal's tried it.
Tried many things.
Heston Blumenthal.
Anyway, this is a podcast about video games.
We haven't really talked about... Well, we did sort of touch on Final Fantasy, yeah, so we should have said it then. We missed... I missed my cue. So
You missed doing your one thing that you always say this
absolutely, that is my catchphrase on this show. This is a podcast about video games.
I missed the film section. I saw the Odyssey. It was good.
Is it good?
Yes, you should see.
I'm halfway... while we're also on it, because I don't really have much to say about it, but I'm halfway through Spider-Noir. That's also good.
Oh, okay.
I'm enjoying that.
Okay. I mean, it is a mix of things that would appeal to your interests, I would say. You know what I mean? It's designed to appeal to us, I think, with Nick Cage. And Noir. And
he's not as cagey as you might hope, I think.
That's a shame.
Like, he's genuinely quite good at it. Like...
Well, he's a great actor. He's always been
You're only
great.
halfway through, though. Who knows what's going on?
Yeah, exactly. Who knows
That's true.
what happens?
That's true.
There hasn't actually been, like, spoilers, I suppose, but there hasn't actually been a lot of Spider going on in this thing. It is more noir than Spider.
I mean, that's budget, right, though?
Yeah, but also...
They don't have the budget to do anything big.
But also, not a bad thing. It hangs together pretty well because of it.
Are you watching it in colour or in...
I have chosen the weak route of watching it in colour, yeah.
Okay, fair.
I was wondering how they were going to do that on Prime, but it turns out there's like they've added like a whole extra feature to it, like alternate versions mode or something.
Right.
You can just because I was like, how do I pick which one it was? I was like, it's like, no, you just hit play and it gives you a massive like full screen choice of you can have this or this.
That's cool.
Someone had to do some work there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, critiques are mostly on the budgetary department. There are moments where like the green screening, shall we say, is pretty obvious, but like in a weird way, like I think they get away with it because of the old noir setting. Like right. It doesn't the rough edges just feel part of it. It's neat. They're probably not going to do a season 2, would be my guess, but and not that I've seen the whole thing, but like, it doesn't feel like Cage would be on for a. I'm surprised he's in a season at all, like a series at all.
Yeah, it's true. I guess that means he can make a bunch of indie movies, right, from the money from that. Or whatever.
Sure, probably. Yeah,
which is cool.
Anyway, sorry, Odyssey.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about Nolan movies. I like some of them, I don't like others, but this one was a good one for sure.
Sure.
I've liked most of his... I haven't seen Tenet because I can't be bothered.
See, I think I talked about it on the cast. Like, right. And I think I'm probably more retrospectively than I did at the time, but I quite like Tenet. Like, right. It's no Inception. It's no, like, obviously, it's like nothing can really approach that. But it's pretty good.
Okay, I should give it a try then.
Yeah, the effects are just so weird and wild, and it's a little difficult to wrap your head around at times. But I did kind of enjoy the ride. It's more about the ride than the actual plot. I guess it's one of those. Like I'm not sure I was into the plot, but the ride of it all is quite fun.
Yeah.
So I'll give it credit for that. What was the other one? Oh, yeah, Interstellar. That's the one I'm sort of probably... I haven't seen Oppenheimer yet, but Interstellar might be my lowest Nolan.
I don't like Interstellar.
And I still... And that's not... And I say it's my lowest Nolan, but I'm still pretty I still enjoyed it. I think I did quite like it.
Yeah, I mean they're all good.
Yeah.
Good. He's a good filmmaker for sure. But yeah, I'm not an Interstellar fan. I also think The Dark Knight Rises is ridiculous.
Which one is that? Is that the third?
It's the third one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. That is. Yeah, maybe that is worse Nolan.
It's like, do you remember when they tricked all the police in the city into going into a hole and then shut the door? Anyway,
man, I saw a Cora breakdown of like some shots from that film, and like pretty recently actually, and it's like just highlighting how bad the fight choreography is, and it's yeah, okay, I see your point. Like it is pretty awful.
Yeah. Anyway, I liked things like Dunkirk and stuff, but like the Odyssey is like really, really pretty good, I think.
Cool.
So yeah, 4 stars.
4 stars. Ooh. All right.
But obviously it's condensing a lot of stuff, right? But I think it does a good job. It doesn't go. It's just like interpretations of Shakespeare plays, isn't it? You can put your own spin on it, and he's obviously chosen a theme kind of, or a couple of themes, and kind of ran with those, you know. Like there's whole chunks cut out from the actual epic poem because it's just too big to fit into 3 hours, you know. I think he chose ones that work really well on screen. And
I assume you saw it in proper IMAX format.
Not in full IMAX because it's all booked out. It's all booked out for. I would watch it again in IMAX. I'll have to see how long they keep it in the.
Wait, yeah, because hang on, there's different versions of IMAX, isn't there? There's like the actual IMAX, which is like there's not many cinemas of, or there's because they have an IMAX quote unquote cinema in Ipswich, right? And I'm not sure that counts as like a full IMAX. I don't know. Right. Like, I'm not really. I get a bit lost on it, but there is some difference. Like, not all IMAXs are the same.
So this is the first ever apparently feature film to be all shot in IMAX.
Oh, really? All of it?
Yeah,
I assumed that had been done many, many times at this point.
No, I think the previous Nolan films have been partial, keep switching formats between IMAX and I don't know what the other format is, maybe 70mm. But this film is entirely IMAX 70mm, but I just watched it, cut down to normal, normal cinema size. And good, but it does change, right? It changes not just the quality, but the aspect ratio and everything changes.
Yeah. That's another weird thing that's been turning up on my socials at the moment, people complaining about bad crops of things, like when they had to change the aspect ratio to put it on TV or something like that. It's like, here's what you're losing, and it's like, all right.
I didn't know that they're making not just TV shows, but apparently like that film Obsession that's like from the YouTuber is like everything's center frame so that it can be cropped to TikTok or whatever.
Oh, interesting.
Just like what?
So people can clip it and randomly post it. Which
more easily,
is also a great deal of my socials at the moment. People just taking random film clips from, what is this film?
Yeah.
And then not telling you what the film is. So the comments are all like, what is this film?
Yep.
That seems to be a trend.
Yep. Anyway, see it in some kind of cinema. You don't probably, but IMAX I'm sure would be very cool.
Nice.
Okay, video games. What's going on?
I guess this is another catchphrase, I suppose. News!
That's okay. That's not...
It's not really a phrase, is it? It's like a catchword. Is catchword a thing? Catch pronunciation? Ident? I don't know. Yeah, anyway. What's going on in video game news? Nothing good, apparently. Nothing good. Not in news land, I suppose. Not newsworthy news. Sony, let's talk about the, as I have dubbed it, the disc continuation. Disc continuation. They say that's still happening. They finally came out and said something about it, and they've said, yeah, we're still doing this. despite the backlash and everyone being unhappy about it, yeah, we're still doing this. The wording they've used, I guess they've tried to be, yeah, we hear, sort of quote unquote, we hear you.
We hear you, but we don't care.
Yeah, pretty much. Because the quote is, it's like, we're going to cautiously move this forward. Which means we're still doing it. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's exactly what it means.
So yeah, I don't know. There's been like the industry has kind of come out in I would say with a lot of surprising realism about the scenario. I guess like a lot of the unhappiness is from consumers, right? And I'm one of those. I do think this is a bad thing. Because it breaks the cycle of the secondhand market, it breaks the cycle of game preservation in some gnarly ways. Again, pushes everyone into trying to get emulation for old machines up and running and stuff like that, which is good, but also probably not what Sony wants. It's slightly. I'm on that side of it, but like the realistic side is that obviously the benefits to Sony for going digital from a financial perspective are immense. Like let's not play this down. It's like the amount of your profit margins are much higher with a digital sale because there's no physical component, there's no distribution chain, there's no deals with retailers, there's no it's obvious really. So, yeah, and you can kind of see why it's happening. PC has already been in this space for a very, very long time.
Can you buy physical PC games? No, I guess.
It can happen. And it still happens. But the thing is that you've got to be somewhat wary of it because most PC games are sold as code in a box, effectively. So you have to kind of make sure you get a copy. If you're going to buy a PC game, you've got to make sure you get hold of a copy that hasn't had its code plumbed into Steam or
right, and you don't have that worry through the just purely digital because it's all managed, right? I suppose you do if you go kind of certain...
you're basically converting your disc into a digital copy in the PC space, right? There aren't many PC games that I think ship physically now, in fairness. That was kind of a thing 10 years ago, but it's less so now. Much less so. Anyway, so anyway, the one that the most recent one I pulled was Sega coming out and saying, this is kind of the digital shift is crucial, is the quote. It's like, I mean, that makes me sad to hear Sega say that, but in a very particular way. But like, again, I get it. Like from a business point of view, I get it, but like I don't like it, and I don't have to like it, and nor should you.
I still think they probably wanted to announce this for ages, but there's someone genius was like, "We'll do it." Like the week after GTA 6, say they're going to do it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
They just held fire for just long enough for someone else big to pull the trigger and say,
but no one else is as big as that, right?
Yeah. I mean, was it Sandfall? The makers of Expedition 33 sort of came out recently and said, our publisher talked about doing digital only stuff, and we were like, no. We wanted people to have this in their hands.
But they're like contrary
Frenchmen. Frencians.
Exactly. Obviously that worked for them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Big hit, a lot of digital sales and a lot of physical sales as well, because they have the advantage of their game being like top tier. Right? In the pantheon of last year's games for sure. That makes people want a physical version.
But you played it and you loved it, and you don't have a physical version.
No, I don't, because I played it on Game Pass. But then, I am quite a physical disc, but there will come a point where I will look back and go, I should probably get a physical copy of that. Like I in the moment, like I don't necessarily care, but I do end up like several years down the line thinking about the games that I enjoyed the most. and kind of want a physical copy of it. I mean, I will talk a little bit about it later, but I'm sure, as I've said on this podcast many times, this happens to me a lot at the moment with retro stuff, to the point where this week I picked up a copy of Onrush, because that is the only way you can get that game. Like, they delisted it from the stores. I'm not quite sure. I'm never quite sure why they delisted it. Onrush is a weird case because it was an online focused game. They took the servers off and made it so you couldn't buy it, but the single player there is still fun, and still fully playable. So you can still do that, and that is where I spent most of my time with that game. And it's like, so it's kind of annoying that they didn't sort that out. But anyway, getting a physical copy of that game is the only way you can go back and play Onrush if you didn't buy it digitally. Which I didn't, because I played it on PS Plus and Game Pass at the time. That is a game I loved, so I went back and got it eventually.
Yeah.
I still think this all sucks. Yeah. Give us some discs. Maybe make fewer of them, I don't know. What happens to the gift market? I don't feel like people are talking about the gift market all that much.
Yeah, what happened to, you could gift games on Steam, right? And we used to do that for Christmas. Presume you still can. But, I remember wanting to be able to gift you a game on, Nintendo Switch, and that is not a thing, for example. Why don't other platforms have...
I mean, actually, in Nintendo land, that is way more of a thing, right? Because, not digitally. You just buy a physical and, do it that way.
I quite like that on Christmas Day or whatever. I don't have to post you. I don't have to buy it
right,
get it from Amazon, gift wrap and post. I can just be like...
Surprise emails in the morning.
And then you have wish list, like the Steam, you just look at the Steam wish list and be like, oh, I'll give Zach X, Y, Z or whatever. We used to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't know why other platforms don't make that easier to do.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I think Epic had that. The Epic Store had that. They might have solved that one. I think that was one of the things they may have addressed. Not sure that. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, gifting seems to be a missing system from a lot of services. I think the only thing they have is actual monetary gift cards.
Yeah,
which kind of sucks. I don't know. It's not a. Yeah. I mean, I've always been in two minds about gift cards and vouchers. They're almost... They're good, but they're almost not specific enough. They're the gift for the person who doesn't understand the space you're in, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And which is fair. So I believe that I agree they should exist. But also, it is sometimes pretty hilarious to receive a game from someone who doesn't know what the hell they're doing. And then you just get something completely out of your wheelhouse, and then it's just well, all right, I'll try that, I guess. And it might,
maybe they know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah,
and they're
exactly.
Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball.
Yeah. Or my brother and getting, what was that game called? 8 to Glory, which was the bull riding game that was terrible and hilarious.
Yeah.
Or Kickoff Revival on the PlayStation. Physical copies, come on. They made a physical copy of Kickoff Revival. Get in.
Yeah, and the gift cards are just so vulnerable to scams and stuff. I think Steam have stopped making them now, I think. Recently.
Really?
Yeah.
I missed that.
They're still in the shop. I've seen some recently, but I think they're stopping doing gift cards because they're just so common.
I was about to say, yeah, in fairness, I did used to... no, they weren't scam. Well, maybe they were. I don't know how they acquired their codes, but to be fair,
the scam is to trick people into buying legit, cards from shops, from physical shops or whatever, and then giving the codes to the scammer. They trick grandmas into buying Steam gift cards and then give them the. Have you not seen? There's some amazing videos where a guy uses a voice changer or whatever to pretend to be a grandma, and then he spends ages with the scammers, wasting their time, and then redeems the cards or pretends to redeem the cards right in front of them, and they're screaming at him "Do not redeem!" It's very funny.
No, I've got it. I want it.
Do not redeem. Because of course, once you've redeemed it, like, isn't the code's useless to
Yeah, it's worthless now. Yeah. Yeah, interesting.
Do not redeem.
I kind of didn't realise that side to it. But yeah, I thought it was like, oh, they found a bunch of codes by illegal methods and then like resellers were selling them cheaper than normal. Because, like, I don't know, what I think it's called Loaded now. I think it used to be CD Keys, but it's now called Loaded. Like, they would put Steam wallet codes on them, but they would occasionally be on sale, which is kind of weird, right? It's like, so here's this gift card you can get for 25% off, and then of course, if I get 25% off my gift card, that's 25% more money than I've paid for in my Steam wallet, and then I combine that with a Steam sale, quid's in.
Yeah.
Quid's in, mate. But yeah, I haven't seen anything like that for a while. Alright, that's that. Just to really sort of put salt on this potential wound, like Sony PSN had a fairly substantial outage that then blocked people from getting to their digitally purchased games.
Oh, great.
So here you go. This is the future you're bringing in, Sony. Like, digital only library that doesn't work if you have a problem, or heaven forbid, you turn it all off one day. Yep. Timing was beautiful. I bet they were hacked by someone, and they just haven't told.
Probably.
Probably
hacked by Grok or something.
However, for balance, not that we're a BBC-hosted podcast or anything, but for balance, I would be remiss to say that only Sony had this issue. Xbox also had an outage of a similar nature that meant people couldn't access their digital games. But actually, it turns out the Xbox outage might have been worse because there are some reports that physical games stopped working as well. To which the question is like, what? How did that happen? Okay. Microsoft have said, yeah, that's not supposed to happen. They have at least owned up to that and been like, yeah, that if that happened, it's like that's not how we've designed the system. We will fix it. But yeah, that's the digital future is terrible, everyone. More Xbox news. There's a lot of Xbox news still going on. None of it particularly great. Xbox revenue is down $1.7 billion. Wow. And that is despite the fact that apparently player counts are on the up. So that's kind of a weird figure. Does that mean more people have gone back to the consoles they already have? Because they can't be buying more consoles, surely, for that amount of revenue drop. So that is a slightly strange stat. Satya Nadella has weighed in for the year and says that 2027 will be a growth year after Asher Sharma's reset. The culling, as we'll call it. He does think that there will be growth. And it's I guess he's hoping that that extra player count will start buying stuff. I guess. Might happen. Bethesda have put a statement out after the cull saying, don't worry guys, don't worry. Elder Scrolls 6's roadmap is unaffected by anything happening. to which I call, like hell, that roadmap.
It's on track for 10 years' time.
Yeah. My argument is I don't reckon that roadmap had any dates associated with it at any point in time. So, yeah, unaffected. Double Fine, despite having to, I guess as a result of having to go independent, have put out a statement saying, yeah, unfortunately we've had to let 23 people go from the studio, which is not an insignificant number given the size of Double Fine. But they were upfront and saying, look, now we're independent. We have to be a size that we can sustain. I guess they had more money coming in from Microsoft by default, and now they don't because they got no money coming in until they can sell some games or get a publisher on board for some games. So yeah, they've had to shrink, which is a shame. That's the bad Xbox side. Halo Campaign Evolved came out and is seems to be fairly pretty. And most people are sort of saying, I've seen a lot of people describing it as like this is Halo 1 if it had the Halo 3 style mechanics, which is interesting. I
like the Halo 3 mechanics.
The Halo 3 mechanics are very good, yeah. So maybe that, I don't know if I don't think they added like dual wielding or anything like that, but like it's still
no, but it doesn't have dual wielding, but it does have like the submachine gun in it. I
sure.
think, example,
the SMG's in it. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I think the battle rifle might be in it as well.
Huh.
But I don't know if those weapons are in the campaign or they're in the extra levels that they added.
Oh, good point. Yeah, good point.
But I think like the field rod cannon is in there and stuff, and the sword. They're technically those are in the first game, but you can't use them.
No.
Right?
Yeah, I will definitely play that. Maybe Zach and I should play it. Do a campaign. Does it have split screen? Can Zach and I do a campaign playthrough?
I think it does.
Amazing.
Apparently, it doesn't have split screen on PC unless you mod it.
Oh, that's a bummer.
But I think it's got crossplay as well. But yeah, and it's got split screen, I believe.
Yeah, maybe it's time. Well, if Zach and I can resist the urge to do some more stabbing next time we play some games, maybe it's time for a Halo run through.
I'm thinking of getting it because on the PS5 because I don't have a way to play Halo anymore. Basically,
apparently, according to Digital Foundry, it runs a tiny bit better on the PS5 than it does on a Series X.
I mean, those consoles are basically the same.
Yeah, the Series X and PS5 are basically the same, but it's a tiny bit better on PS5.
Yeah, well, I don't have a PS5 Pro.
No, I saw some people making I saw some media outlets making a perhaps overblown deal of that, and it's like, well, of course it's going to run better on a PS5 Pro, you morons. It's like, and Microsoft don't have an answer for that, obviously, because they didn't do they haven't done a mid-season refresh this time, but
yeah, they didn't do a Series X.
A Series X. Yeah, what would they call it? X more X. Triple X.
Squared. Yeah, triple X.
Castlemaine 4X box. The beer of console. Anyway. Anyway, the other thing I was going to point out that they changed the spoilers, I suppose. But they've changed the legendary ending so it hints that they're making Halo 2 remake. A Halo 2 remake. It's like, okay, but Halo 2 Anniversary Edition was way better than Halo Anniversary Edition.
I really liked Halo 2.
It's really good,
or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. I thought this was a warm up, and they go and make original games.
Yeah,
no,
me too.
Keep remaking shit. I guess it's that might be a recent Microsoft directive to just be super conservative.
Sure.
I don't know. I will see. I imagine this will be a success. So
yeah, I bet.
But I thought they would then do multiplayer, right? Because that's the whole point about it being campaign evolved is they didn't try.
They didn't
to do
any multiplayer. Yeah. I, unless some part of Microsoft still says, "Well, we've still got Infinite. Why would we do that?"
Yeah, but that's not successful.
It's not successful. No. Despite it being pretty good, like I personally think Infinite's pretty good, but like it's it wasn't the success they hoped for. Yeah, I don't know what they'll do about that. And also, yeah, as I say, Halo 2 Anniversary is a good version. I think they should skip that and go straight to Halo 3 because that hasn't had a remake.
That's true.
I would like them to do that and touch it up. It always was a pretty good looking game, but it suffered from quite a 30 FPS and a pretty low resolution on Xbox 360.
That's true.
Touching it up would be real nice.
I don't know. It's kind of depressing that they can't make new games.
I know. But no one really liked, the community have always been a bit, they haven't really enjoyed anything 343 onwards as a whole,
No,
right?
they
And but Halo 4 upwards hasn't been what they want from Halo generally.
No. Yeah,
they've got to find their spark somehow, and maybe doing the remakes teaches them to what that is.
Yeah, maybe they just blast through all of them, one a year or something, and then take a break.
Yeah.
Don't know if they could keep that pace, but I imagine they could invest enough to do that, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not like you have to think too hard. Now you've established the pattern of remaking Halo with Unreal. Presumably you could sort of churn through them.
To an extent, yeah. I guess mechanically, perhaps they keep what they've built for Halo 1, for campaign involved, and like add dual wielding, and mechanically, is that it? Actually,
and then Halo 3 has like overshields and things. Oh no,
Sure.
What's it called? No,
it's got the
shields. And
it's got the
equipment
gadget
thing.
stuff. Yeah, equipment. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, gadgets. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a little bit more to add there, but they're not like the moving and the shooting, right? And if they've got the moving and the shooting down, then and feeling good in that Bungie kind of way, then they've done most of what they need to do. I say most of what they need to. Obviously, the most work is assets and actually an art generation and actually building out the levels to look pretty. Like that is where the bulk of the work is these days. But
yeah, but they've done that now, so they can do it again.
Yeah, well, yeah, they'll have to do it again. But yes. Anyway, there's that. The other Xbox news that's of interest to me is the PC back compatibility thing. So, Microsoft have officially put out 4 original Xbox games on PC through a back compatibility layer.
Oh yeah.
So that's Crimson Skies, Fusion Frenzy, Conker's Bad Fur Day, and everyone's favourite, Blinks.
Everyone's favourite, Blinks the Time Sweeper.
Yeah.
I mean, I played that. I mean, there
Blinks
weren't
is pretty
that many
good.
games when the Xbox came out, and that was supposed to be the kind of Xbox's Sonic the Hedgehog. I guess.
It was kind of positioned as a mascot game. It was developed by ex-Sega guys, so it kind of had a bit of lineage to it, but it wasn't. I get why it wasn't one of those games. I get why it didn't do that.
Not quite on the Astrobot kind of level.
Exactly, yeah.
But it's cool. I like it.
It's a neat idea.
Yeah.
At the time, those time mechanics were wholly original. But anyway, yeah, you can now play that on PC.
Yeah, that shit came out before Braid, didn't it?
Yeah, man. Quite a while before Braid, yeah.
Yeah.
That stuff is real cool. But yeah, you can play that on PC now. Digital Foundry, you have a fairly extensive breakdown of it. It's not perfect. There are frame pacing issues because, especially with the games that have a 30 FPS cap, because they haven't tried to break the cap, and that's fair enough. I think DF were perhaps a little bit harsh on it, being like, oh, they haven't tried to make Conker's Bad Fur Day run at 60 or anything like that. It's like, well, no, because they're just working with the original game here. It's like that might be hard, depending on the game, right? This is an emulator after all, but that's the really interesting bit. Like, the way they've done this is by using an emulator within an emulator. What's actually going on is they're simulating the Xbox 360 environment,
right,
and running the Xbox 360's original Xbox emulator inside of it, to get these games to run. To which the community is like, wait, hold on a minute. Not only does that potentially give us something to look at in order to improve original Xbox emulation, that gives us something to look at for Xbox 360 emulation.
Yeah. Okay.
So potentially exciting news. Whether or not what they can actually do with it is, that's when we start getting into the legal area that Nintendo are always chasing people about, right? Like how much of our stuff did you just use to make your emulator? So, whether or not they can actually use any of that info is very grey, as usual, with this stuff. The greyest of grey. #888888.
Yeah.
But still, Interesting.
Surely it would be hash E. Oh no, that's the other way, isn't it? No, it'd be hash. The greatest would be hash 11111.
That's nearly
Anyway.
black, isn't it?
Nearly black, yeah.
Is that grey?
Well,
is that greyest? Like, how do you define greyest?
The greyest is in the middle, is it?
Yeah, well, that was my definition of greyest.
You're going for 8. Okay, fine. That might be the greyest.
The greyest.
The middlest between black and white. Is
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, sure. I'm with you.
That is my definition of greyest. Yeah, anyway, that's that. That's the Microsoft news. Finally, well, nearly finally, EA's sale to Saudi Arabia and private equity companies for $55 billion. As far as we know, unless that something happens in the next week, is going to go ahead. Yay! Yeah. The players involved are the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, Silver Lake Partners, and Affinity Partners, of which Jared Kushner is involved. You know, Trump's son-in-law, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. None of that sounds great. None of that sounds good. And about all of EA will be owned by them. Slightly mad.
I mean, if they can't get their oil through the Strait of Hormuz, they might as well sell some video games. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they can use Battlefield to figure out a way to solve the
maybe.
problem. Just get the gamers to figure it out.
What, you mean it'll be like a super hot scenario where they don't realise they're actually controlling real soldiers?
Yeah. They'll just the next Battlefield 6 update will coincidentally be in a Iran map.
Probably.
Super hot.
I wanted to say that, like, I don't know why I was a bit dismissive of Star Wars Galactic Eraser, but it's looking really good.
It looks so good, man.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
really
like a roguelike.
Yeah, I'm super intrigued by that structure. Like that looks that seems...
And it's like combination Burnout 3 Takedown and roguelike.
Well, it's made, but yes, and I mean, I mentioned Onrush earlier, but the lineage is there, right? A lot of the Evolution, apparently, there's the studio that's making that has Evolution Studios team members on it. So I am hype, man. This looks real good.
Quite excited now about that for some reason.
Pod racing is back, baby.
Yeah. There's one thing I don't like, which is that there seems to be 4 different kinds of vehicle, right? But I don't know the different. One of them is pod racers, obviously, that comes later. But I think there's speeder bikes, and there's like land speeders, and then there's one other type similar to a land speeder or something. But
Chunky boys.
One of them, maybe it's the land speeder, they don't seem to bank into turns properly. It's almost like they look like
they're too flat,
banking away or too flat, or banking because the speeder bikes bank normally like a motorcycle, right? And that looks fine. But for some reason, the land speeders look too flat on the turns.
Because they're trying to just simulate the one time you ever see a land speeder in the original Star Wars where it was actually just on wheels and therefore it didn't bank at all.
Therefore didn't bank. Yeah, but for me that just looks weird because it's good to my brain.
Yeah,
but otherwise it looks cool. Because even pod racers kind of bank, right? Because they're too...
Yeah, the engines can be uneven, basically.
Yeah. The engines bank and then the cockpit sort of just flaps behind.
Yeah. But anyway, there's one thing, like, in some of the footage, I'm like, if you were the pilot, you would just go... You'd be, like, crushed against the but
that'd be the case for all of them, really. It's like, there's, like... How does any vehicle in Star Wars? What's the inertial dampening situation, basically?
Yeah, it's true.
They never talk about that in Star Wars.
No.
Is that an EA joint?
I mean, yes.
Yeah, I mean, Galactic Racer is that? I mean, because EA don't have the Star Wars exclusivity anymore.
I don't know.
I don't know what publisher's behind it.
Published by Secret Mode. So, no.
Okay. I don't know who they are.
Sumo Group, based in Sheffield.
Sumo Group? What? Sumo Digital?
Don't get them confused with Sumo. And just like every time Sumo Digital comes up, there's like 3 of them.
How many Sumos do you want?
Sumo Digital, I guess it's was part of Sumo Digital or something. and it's split out, divested,
Oh, okay.
alongside the Chinese room.
Oh, they're not a type. It's not the divestation of like Embracer, right? It's not one of the.
I'm confused. Anyway, it's not
Yeah.
EA.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's probably a positive sign.
Yeah.
All right, cool. You mentioned Battlefield 6, just like usual bad news, I guess. Like they fired a bunch of people from Battlefield 6 because it did well. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job, you guys. Enjoy your unemployment. Happy bonus. Speaking of bonuses, the EA boss got a whopping 38 million this year, up from 8. Like, we're at 30 million extra. I hate quite a lot of people in the corporate world.
Well, it's the way it works.
It shouldn't. You guys suck.
Yeah.
Not that I mean, that probably comes from a place of jealousy, let's be honest. But, like, also, you suck. And finally, Valve report an 82% decline in Steam Deck sales since they raised the price. No shit, Sherlock. I mean, I think even at its original price point, and it's an original what it was, like the Steam Deck and any kind of like handheld PC is slightly niche. So, you know, what did they think would happen? Like, well, maybe they knew this would happen, and they're just like, well, yeah, but we've still got to make money on this thing to even make it.
I feel like, obviously, they can't do anything, but, like, there's an extra psychological element, at least for me. Would you guys feel the same, that, like, why would I buy something that was cheaper before?
Yeah. I know. I have that thought process for me is for the PlayStation 5, right? Like,
yeah,
there's a bit in my brain that's constantly nagging, has been nagging at me for a while now. Like, you don't have a PlayStation 5. You have pretty much every other console. You don't have a PlayStation 5, dude. And I'm like, I know, mate. I know. There's plenty of games that are PS5 would be good on PS5. I'd quite like to play those. Yeah, I'm not going to get to play that Ghost of Yotei anywhere else because fuck you, Sony. And so, like. It's
true.
Yeah, there's a bit in my head that's going, you got to get that, dude. But it's like, my sensible financial brain kicks in and goes, yeah, hell no. That thing is like a lot more expensive than it was when it came out, which makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it's true.
Even though I understand the market conditions. But yeah, it's that. Yeah, I'm with you. That's just not going to happen. Price goes up. I don't want. I will wait for it to come down if that ever does. Maybe when PS6 comes out, the PS5, have a bit of a dip in the used market, something like that.
Yeah, probably. Although PS4 lasted quite a while.
It did, yeah. I mean, Call of Duty only just announced they're not going to make a PlayStation 4 version of the next one. That's news.
All right, let's talk about what you've been playing. Zach, what have you been playing over the past 2+4 weeks plus?
Nearly 3. Nearly 3.
Well, not uncoincidentally, I've been playing a game that we also made a second video of.
Which will go up shortly.
Yep.
How's your administration?
Yeah, that's what I've been playing more Endfield.
Man, I watched those story spoiler
trailers
trailers you sent me. Holy shit, that game has juice.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, they're just cutscenes, but they pushed my buttons so hard. I'm playing the wrong game. We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, I played the rest of the 1.4 patch after how far we got in the video, and I mean, did you watch both of those videos I sent you, or
did.
just the first one?
Yeah, I did.
Because the second boss in that second video is from the end of 1.4.
It's so cool.
Which, like, yes, I wish we could have shown that in the video, but obviously I didn't know that was going to happen.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, I played through that, and yeah, it's a hell of a patch, 1.4.
Man, it's just the spectacle of it, and the setup of it, and the orchestration of it, the music behind it all. It is bite your lip good. It's
Yes, that boss was very cool, and the whole main story quest leading up to that was cool, and even the environment, even though you're in like literal ruins that are just hella brown, it just makes a nice change from the green and grey rocks of the rest of Wuling. So even the environment was kind of nice.
yeah, sure.
So yeah, I played through all of that. Although I did notice something that was slightly interesting about that last boss, which is that when I was playing it, because I was thinking back to the other boss from the previous video that we did, the big dragon boss, which had previously been, the coolest boss. I was thinking back to that when I was playing the new one, and I was like, is this as cool as that? And at the time, I didn't think that it was. But then when I watched a video of someone else play it, I was like, no, actually, this boss is cooler. And I think that's actually because when you're playing it, you're not... Because the dragon boss's main thing is to teleport on the other side of the arena and then do all these like big shockwave attacks. Whereas this boss is like, you're in melee contact with it most of the time and you're dodging its like sword sweeps. So when you're playing it, you're not really seeing the spectacle as much because you're focused in a much smaller area.
Yeah, your eyes are zoned in on like really what's
you're looking
happening.
for that red flash that tells you to dodge.
Absolutely, yeah.
So yeah, when I watched it back, it was like, oh yeah, this boss is actually really cool. And maybe it'd be better if I replay it in like the harder difficulties where it will take longer to kill as well. So you'll have more time to inherently see the spectacle going on around you, especially if it does more of its long range attacks. Because it's another problem they've had with balancing. Because of course, at this point, I talked about it when we first talked about Endfield, like the level 90 cap on leveling, where it's just like we've been up against that for ages at this point, and like they can't. How do you make things more difficult? And therefore, people who have already hella optimized their level 90 character builds, just even this boss, you just melt it, and like in some cases, you kill it before it even does half its attacks, which kind of ruins the spectacle of it. Then,
yeah.
There's one point in the second phase of that boss where it has like one of those hard caps where it's just like you just stop doing damage to it so it can do its like bullet hell mode bit basically.
Okay, yeah.
So you can't blow past that. You still have to do that part, but that's not a good solution to the problem, really.
No, but it kind of makes sense. Like, what are you going to do for players that are at that level?
Well, I think the only thing they could do, which would also not really be a very good solution, is just when you're entering the boss arena, because you do have to, these big bosses, you do have to pick your team as you're going into the arena. So it's like, this is the boss fight, essentially. And like, they could just allow you to, at that point, choose to do it in the higher difficulty levels that you get from the boss replay mode. So it's like, if you know that you're already super hardcore and your team is hella hardcore as well, you just like, I'll just play it in the hardest difficulty for the first time.
Oh, you can do that. Okay.
Well, no, you can't. That's what I'm saying. That's what I think they should do. It's like, allow you to just choose to do it in that hardest difficulty sight unseen, basically.
Would it benefit them to, like, perhaps like the first time you encounter a significant story moment, use a team of lead you into that section, so forcing you to use a team that isn't perhaps your fully optimized one. Say the story forces you to use a few characters for a while, so you get used to them, and then you hit the boss, and then it's like then you're used to them, and you know the tricks. Like for players that want to learn that much detail, right? So
because the thing that they do to that is sort of similar, is when they're doing the character specific story, like side stories. They generally lock you into playing just the administrator and that character. So you don't even have a full team, you only have those two. Mm-hmm. And in the more recent ones, they solved a problem that they didn't solve until recently, which was that, like, a lot of the time that means the combos don't work because there is no combo.
Yeah.
But they've tried to solve that in the last couple of these because they made it so they basically just add extra effects. Like the last one, Camille's one, from the previous patch, like his thing made it just so that whenever you do a final strike, the enemy just gets stacks of fire affliction out of nowhere because his trigger is like fire affliction. So
I see.
Because of that happening, it then allows him to activate his combo, even though it's only him and the administrator there.
But only during those sequences?
Only during his story sequence, basically.
Right, okay, yeah.
So it's like because obviously those
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, those are like designed to show off the characters, so you need to be able to show off their moves essentially.
Yeah, I think I've run into similar scenarios in Zenless with like character tutorials. Where I think they've set them up in a certain way where it's easier to pull off the thing they're trying to tutorialize. And as a result, I think that actually hinders it in that case, because I actually then don't understand what's going on.
Right.
Like, I've done the thing it's asked me to do, but I don't know what that was.
Yeah, I mean, like, I got that when I watched you play it for a minute, where it's just like, it's telling you to do this and then this. And it's like, what, but do you really understand what's actually happening?
Not in the slightest.
So yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like, well, I mean, I think they just have to make it an option. There's no other way around it. You'd have to just make it an option to just play it in the difficult mode, or maybe do what I did for that video and play it in like canon mode, where it's just like you get to play with Administrator Perlica, Chen, and probably one other character.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I meant by like forcing your team into a certain thing, because Zenless does that by default in story missions. It goes into what it calls trial mode.
Right.
And then, like, here you go, here's the team you're going to use for this mission, because it canonically makes sense. But also, like, those characters might be characters you don't have. Through the unlock system, because it's gacha, right? And then, so to me, that's been fine. That's been a fine solution. It's like, here, they've tailored this team for the difficulty that makes the fight entertaining. And I don't have to understand how this team works together in order for it still to be an entertaining fight. And it's like, yeah, okay, good solution. I'm okay with that.
It's like, I don't think that would work quite as well in Endfield because of the way it's always the same canon team, or at least 3 of them.
Right.
They're always there.
So maybe that's a bit tedious.
And also because, like, all the characters are kind of, there's no, like, power scale to any of the characters, really. Like, they're all equally good if you get them in the correct sort of team setup.
Interesting.
Which means there's no, like, that it disincentive. Well, it makes it feel worse to be forced to play as another team rather than the team you like, because you don't like the team because it's more powerful. You like the team because you like the team, and you like playing as that team.
It's a play style thing as opposed to a yeah. Okay, gotcha.
So I don't know. I like. Well, you know, when the next player survey comes up, I'll stick that in the feedback box, as I do.
Okay, cool.
And then, obviously, the last part of this patch was the massive new factory stuff, which I also didn't get into in the video. We mentioned the wavy tube guys and how there seemed to be a lot of them, and that implied there was a lot of new tech to unlock. So I unlocked all that tech. And it's kind of interesting because all the new factory stuff basically lets you rebuild all the previous factory stuff but more efficiently. So it introduces gases and like gas vents on the map to obtain certain types of gas, but like most of the formulas are just like you're making the same thing, but like it's like using 75% of the resources, so you can make slightly more of the same thing. But the other thing that it also does is dramatically reduce the number of buildings. Like I showed in the video, my main factory area had that like repeated blueprint where it was just the entire area was full of making just the Gironite, the green stuff. And that was all that factory zone did. But then when I rebuilt it with the gas version of that recipe, that exact same, well, not even that exact same amount, actually more production than that entire area fit in like 1/3 of that area now.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's quite the upgrade.
But the trouble with that is that, like, obviously you're still limited by the literal amount of resources there are on the map. So, it takes up 1/3 of the space, but you can't then build 3 times as much of it because you literally don't have the input resources.
Interesting.
What it did let me do is completely rearrange my factory to actually use the sewage plant, which I had said previously seemed kind of pointless because it was so inconvenient to use.
But now you've got extra space to just do something with it, I guess.
Well, it was because previously one of the main ways you had sewage being produced required a specific input fluid, and that input fluid only appeared in one of the far away factory zones. So all the sewage was over there, and the sewage plant was really far away. But because of the new gas recipes that now avoid having to use that input fluid but use the gas instead, now I can do those sewage making recipes in the main factory, and that's way, way closer to the sewage plant. So I was like, oh, I can just rearrange everything to then actually exploit the sewage plant and get a slight bit of bonus resources from the return off that. So I did. I rearranged my whole factory. It's interesting because I can't tell. There might be like a secret reason for this upgrade as well, which is that there's two theories that I came up with. Either they're setting up for the future where they don't want to simulate as many buildings, where it's like, if we're going to keep adding more and more factories to the game, let's reduce the number of buildings that once people have optimized it, reduce the number of buildings in this factory so we can not have to, the server can keep up better with simulating all these factories.
I just assumed that the factories were simulated by the server by just getting like input equals this, output equals this. Cool, that's all I need to worry about. Yeah,
I'm sure it does work kind of like that. I mean, I would imagine it's still simulated on a per building basis, so there is still going to be like a list of like every building that's functional or whatever. Because otherwise it wouldn't be able to like detect when lines back up in certain ways. But yeah, that's one theory that I came up with. The other theory that I also came up with was that they're setting up for another like factory production event, because the last factory production event that they did previously was kind of annoying because no one had any space left in their factories. So you had to like tear down half your factory to build this specific new thing and then rebuild your whole factory afterwards.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like now they've just freed up a bunch of space that they can use to do this in the future, maybe. Assuming we're still going to be hanging around in the Wuling area for, well, I'm pretty sure we're going to be here for at least one more patch, so...
I mean, wouldn't the solution to events like that just be like, oh, here's a bit of space you can use, but only during the event?
Yeah, you could do that as well. It'd be kind of awkward because you'd have to... The way the factory system is like centered on those towers or whatever, and the zones are all limited in input and output and all that stuff. You'd have to set up a whole... And obviously you'd have to make a new precisely flat square zone on the map somewhere.
Sure.
Where you can always tell where the factory's going to be.
Have a door.
Yeah,
a mysterious door.
Oh, just virtual factory, I guess.
Yeah.
You just go into a computer simulation. They've done that before as well. I mean, technically all the factory tutorials are like that. You just load into a weird, like, Unreal factory and go and learn how to do shit. So yeah, that's maybe an indication of something. I'm not sure what. And then the other slight problem with this patch maybe is a problem that it's been coming. It's just because they've used the like main character amnesia cliche, they've run into the obvious writing problem of that, where you've got like two ends of the scale where either the main character has to constantly stop and ask questions all the time and it's really annoying and completely breaks the flow of every scene. Or you have the other end of the scale where the main character seems kind of dumb because they just smile and nod at everything.
Right, yeah.
And I think in this last patch towards the end, where they do have quite a bit of new lore dumping, it's starting to verge a little bit too much onto smile and nod territory.
a little too linky.
We might need the administrator to actually ask some questions at some point.
Right, yeah.
And it's kind of always felt like...
It's like
obviously...
I'm trying not to spoil it, but yeah, there's some bits at the end of that boss fight you were talking about where it's just like asking questions about, or raising some things about the nature of the Endmin herself.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like, yeah, okay, maybe you should be engaging in this.
Yes, like right at the start of that boss fight where it first appears, it's talking to you in a language that literally no one else in the room would be able to understand also. And then the administrator is just like, I don't know what the hell you're actually asking me, but I refuse.
Whatever it is, and I'm still going to murder your ass.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's like, I feel like, and it also has, that problem also extends to like, I mentioned it previously that like, the last time you were out of hibernation 10 years ago, like quite a lot of these people actually knew you 10 years ago, but no one's telling you anything.
Yeah.
Like, they all just had this like secret meeting where they're like just don't tell him anything about what they were like previously.
Right, yeah. It's, I mean, that's a fairly common video game trope. Like,
yeah,
but it feels so unnatural sometimes, and I get why that's weird here.
I just can't decide whether is it going to be worth it? It's the thing, I suppose. Like,
I mean, ultimately, like rarely, right? Ultimately.
Yeah. I mean, it would be interesting but very difficult to manage for them, for the developers, I'm sure, if they like just drop the amnesia halfway through. Like you do actually get your memories back, and then the administrator just remembers everything and becomes a new character almost. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of weird. The lore drop at the end of this patch was quite severe. Also, I mean, I think it was in this patch they've implemented the wiki mouse over thing. Like when there's an underlined word in the text, you can click on it and it brings up a little extra summary that's like, this is what this word means.
Yeah, that's super helpful. I love that.
But it only helps so much when they just drop all of the lore at the end of this patch, where it's like, exiles and the Foundation and the Foundation and making the rock enemy dudes and all this stuff.
Right, yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. Administration needs to stop pissing around and actually ask the questions.
Stop being so anime.
Right at the end, when you're talking to another, like in the midst of this big lore dump, the character you're talking to basically says, like, I didn't want to tell any of you this stuff. I just wanted you to, like, be an ordinary operator for like a year or two and just go around and have some fight experience and stuff. But now we've got to tell you all the lore, damn it.
Right. That's kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
it means they hadn't thought of what that lore is.
Well, maybe that's the secret reason. Dev time.
Yeah. Give the writers some room.
Yes. So anyway, yep, that was Endfield. It was a pretty cool ass patch, and maybe the story site kind of implies it's the end of Wuling, but then as I mentioned previously, there was that supposedly dev comments previously that they were going to be in Wuling for the whole of the year. So right, I don't know if that's if that plan has changed or. I think they've already teased like a snow area, and I'm pretty sure that means we're going to a different area, but maybe it will just be like a one-off bit, like just if for one patch we go to like temporarily visit a snow area or something. They could do that easily enough.
Or maybe that's their end of year plans.
Well, maybe. Yes, maybe we are still going to get like 2 or 3 more patches of Wuling stuff. I mean, I'm expecting at least one more.
Yeah, there could be like some relief effort, I suppose. You know,
I'm also kind of expecting. Yes. I'm also expecting one more just because of, like, it would be a waste to immediately abandon this factory after you've only just rebuilt the entire thing with all this new tech. Yeah, surely there's got to be at least a little bit more use for it before we just leave.
Yeah.
So that's Endfield. And obviously I did get that new character, and she's kind of cool. But, like, maybe, as always, slightly overpowered, but in a very specific way.
Was that the one with all the teleporting
lasers?
And the lasers? Yes. Yeah, that you showed in the video. Yeah.
Yes. With her weird, like, 2 different versions of her attacks, depending on which of her stats are higher.
Man, that game seems so... I mean, yeah. I don't know if I'm not going to be able to do 2 of these types of games, and also whenever I'm playing Zenless, which I'll talk about in a bit, like, there is a nagging sensation at me to being like, you're not getting the value out of your Game Pass. Like, because you're doing this instead.
Sure, I guess. If you're playing one Game Pass game.
Yeah, but there's... Oh, this game looks like it has so much juice that for some reason is just poking at me.
It's because I'm poking it back to you.
It's the pips in the orange juice are just, like, all angry.
I mean, this has been our classic situation where I'll play a thing and then just tell Rob to play it.
Yeah.
Happened for Team Fortress. Happened for Rocket League.
I mean, it hasn't happened for a while, in fact.
Well, no, that's true. Well, no, RoboQuest, right?
Oh, yes, RoboQuest. Yes, that was the last one. That was an inspired pick.
Oh, by the way, behind the scenes, Dan, you need to go and change the RoboQuest listing on our website because it's the wrong one. There's another game called RoboQuest.
Yeah, I noticed that. Okay.
So anyway. The main other thing I played was a whole shit ton of Palworld in multiplayer as well, obviously, because that was inevitably going to happen. But yeah, it has the exact same problem, which I'm sure I talked about the previous time on the podcast, where it's just like the leveling curve is just fucked. Like you get about 20 levels in, because so you get like your experience that levels up your character, and your character level determines how far up you are the tech tree. Like each character level is a level on the tech tree, and then there's like 5 things that you unlock at that level. And then obviously pals have their own independent levels, so that's different. But like by the time you've reached like level 20 character level, you're already unlocking stuff in the tech tree that you're like 2 steps behind on even being able to build. Like, and that just accelerates even worse beyond that point. So the point we're at in multiplayer and the point I got to in single player, it's just like we're using about half of the tech tree that we have unlocked, because we've never got to that point of needing those resources to make things to get the later stuff in the tech tree.
Right.
And it's just a weird balance problem. And like, that also extends to other parts, like the level of the main bosses, where you have to like fight the tower bosses, and there's like 8 of them or whatever. And, you know, you can easily outpace that. Mainly that's on your PAL levels, of course, because like if you're carrying just like one team of PALs around with you and they're gaining experience all the time, mainly because, like, even when you're standing in your base, just the general work that's going on in your base, your pals get experience ambiently from that. So even while you're just hanging around in base, the pals in your party are also still leveling up.
Okay.
So it can be quite easy to massively outlevel at least the first, well, from our perspective, at least 3 or 4 of the 8 towers we were overleveled for. I think we're sort of starting to catch up, but that's kind of because we're forcing it at this point. Like, we're trying to get to the towers at the level we're meant to be at. And then there was this other weird problem where, like, this might just be because of the way they changed the, like, PAL spawns or whatever for 1.0, and maybe they didn't fully think about it or whatever. But, like, we were on our way up to the second tower, which would be level 30, and, like, the PALs around it are level 40 and more.
Oh,
it's like
that's weird.
They've seemed to have fucked up the level balance in this area for some reason.
Do they think they can? You can take pals of higher level than you have, or?
Well, I mean, the actual problem. Well, the actual thing about that zone is that, like, it's a big volcano basically, and the towers are up at the top. And we spent a really long time going around the whole edge of this volcano island, basically looking for a path. But it turns out that there just kind of isn't a path, but it doesn't matter because you can just fly. You can just get on a PAL that flies and fly.
Right.
So, like, I think you're intended to fly up there, but then does that then also imply that you're just meant to fly over all these level 40 towers and not actually fight them?
Well, yeah, kinda.
Yeah, but, like, that in itself is kind of a problem, because then you're just, like, weirdly skipping the content of fighting the PALs because the game is implying that you should.
Yeah. What does that then mean that the other ones will be like? Will the other ones have over-level pals below an under-level tower?
Well, it hasn't seemed like it so far with the next 2 or 3. They've seemed more or less at the right level.
Okay.
It's just, I think, because they've definitely changed a lot of the volcano zone from what we remember. So I think when they changed what pals spawned there and rebalanced the zone, they maybe didn't consider that the level 30 tower was there.
That does seem quite odd. Yeah, unless your theory is right. Yeah, go fly to the tower and then come back and deal with those pals later, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to, because it's got the whole, like, catch 5 for bonus XP thing, so you're always going to want to catch 5 of everything anyway at a certain point.
Gotta catch them all. 5 times.
Yep, 5 times. Fortunately, that's not difficult in Palworld. Well, at a certain point. It's kind of funny because, like, when you're running the pals in your base that, like, produce materials or whatever, it also has that compression system where you, like, take multiple of the same pal and compress them into one, and it makes it better.
Oh, okay, right. That's sort of like a classic merge.
Yes, the classic merge system.
Yeah.
And you use that. You can use that obviously to make your actual team pals way stronger, but you also use it in the base for like if you have like the lamb balls that make wool. If you mash a bunch of lamb balls into one super lamb ball, it makes wool way faster. So obviously that's good for crafting. But then that leads to the funny situation where it's like we hadn't needed wool for a while, so we'd leveled way up. But it was like, oh shit, we need a bunch of wool to make this high quality cloth now because we've reached that point in the tech tree. But our lamb ball is still not leveled. So it's like, well, I'll just go run around the starting zone with like, a gun. But I also have there's this piece of equipment called the mercy ring that means you never kill a pound by attacking it. You only put it down to 1 health. So I'm just running around with a gun, like shooting every lamb ball once in the face and then immediately throwing a ball at it. And just harvesting every lamb ball in the entire area. Like classic ecological disaster mode.
I think I'm slightly thrown by the fact that they're just called lamb balls. And it's just
ball shaped lamb.
Yeah, every time you say it, it's just like lamb ball. Like, what? Am I getting that with some fries or some side salad? Like,
no, you could do if you cook the meat that mysteriously comes out off them even when you capture them alive.
The wool isn't wool; it's meat. Like you shave the meat off them.
But yes, it is kind of funny to just go back to a really low-leveled area, and if you didn't have the mercy ring, you would just one-shot everything. But because you have the mercy ring, you one-shot and then one ball everything. Because it will be 100% chance of capture if you have high enough level balls. So it's actually really quick to harvest as many powers as you need to do the compression thing, assuming you're over-leveled compared to them.
They're not patent infringing balls.
Yes, apparently. It never seemed like the balls being balls was really the problem.
No. Well, although
everyone did say at the time, it's just like you should just make them cubes. So that was solve the whole problem.
Yeah, that was the patent, right? That they were being captured in.
Well, it wasn't about it being ball shaped though. It was like the process of throwing it and hitting them, and then it going. Okay. It's like the actual spherical shape wasn't actually the problem.
Okay.
It was a mechanical pattern, not a graphical
design.
Not that it was designed that similarly. I mean, we didn't. Even though they mostly won some of the lawsuits, they still haven't undone any of those changes they made on the previous early access versions about like how you summon the powers or anything. They do still just appear next to you. You don't throw the ball out. But they at least give you the option now to be able to, like, if you aim down sights, you can just press a button to make the power attack that specific enemy, so you at least have that control. Because that was what throwing out the ball used to be for, was like you throw the ball at the enemy you want the power to immediately attack.
Right. So, yeah, now you just ping, I suppose.
Yes, now you just ping them. And yeah, it's still jank and still weird and still...
But fun as a result of all the jank and weirdness?
Well, I still have the same problems as before of like the like timers and stuff, like all the timers to do with like breeding and expeditions, and like where the length of the timers isn't conducive to like being out in the world for a long time. Like you keep thinking, you keep having things complete and you have to go back to base, or you have to remember that you set this thing up and then you have to come back to it every 10 minutes or whatever. And because you can't fast travel to anywhere, you can only fast travel between the fast travel points. You do have to like physically go back to the nearest fast travel point in order to walk back to base if you need to complete something or set something new up. And that also extends into like little awkward things, like how if you're breeding pals in the breeding center, whatever the hell it's called, breeding ranch, I don't even remember what that building's called. But like, in order for them to breed, you have to feed them cake, and the cake is automatically put in this box on the corner of the building. And like, if you're manufacturing the cake in like having your pals cook it or whatever, they automatically know to put the cake in that box, not in like the general food storage. So that works. But the trouble is there's no way to restrict how many cakes the breeding powers will eat, so they'll just keep making eggs all the time.
There's something wrong with that phrase. So...
Are the eggs not used in the baking of the cake, though?
No, there's a different type of egg that only the chickens make, specifically. This is not a pal egg.
Cooking egg.
Okay.
These chickens, for some reason, make cooking eggs. Like, with no chicken inside it.
Yep, even if you breed the two of the chickens together and get an egg that contains a chicken, it's a completely different type of egg because it's a pal egg and not this mysterious other egg that they make. It's obviously like the wool meat situation, where it's like this is not actually an egg at all.
Wait. So these chicken eggs, are they like their poo?
Could be.
Is that that's the only way I can think that this biology would make sense.
And there are no pals that are like chicken designed.
Well, yes, this chicken pal is just pretty much just a straight chicken. It's the least fantastical design you've ever seen for a chicken shape. I mean, it's a bit rounded, but it's clearly just a chicken.
What's it called? What's its pal name?
Chickpea. Chickpea.
Okay, yeah, all right. I thought you were going to say it's like chicken-ish or something. It's a bit chicken-like.
I think originally I saw this in a video, and I don't think I knew this because I think this must have been a very early change in early practice. But I think early access. I think originally it was called chicken egg.
Chicken egg. That's great.
Well, what came first?
Both of them.
Apparently,
the whole thing simultaneously.
Well, chicken egg came first, obviously.
But yeah, because there's no way to stop the breeding powers from breeding. So if you're out of the base for too long, you'll just come back to like a shit ton of eggs filling the entire ranch because they just ate all the cakes. Because the like breeding cycle countdown is only like a couple of minutes. So as soon as you're away from the base for like, even a short jaunt out in the world for like 15 minutes, it's like, oh, well, now you've got like way too many eggs.
That you can't eat.
No, that you have to incubate and then hatch. I guess you could incubate, hatch, and then kill the pals for food afterwards. Use the meat cleaver that we don't ever use. That actually lets you kill pals.
KFC simulator.
Yep. I don't know why you would ever do that, unless you're very hard up for a specific drop that only certain pals make. I guess then you can breed them and then kill them for the drops that way. But then that would cost cakes. You might as well go out in the world and kill the wild ones that also drop the thing.
Don't waste cake. Oh my god.
No. Cake is actually really annoying to make. It's quite expensive in terms of the inputs, like all the wheat and flour and eggs and all that stuff that you have to put in. But it mainly just takes a really long time to cook, even with really high-leveled firepowers doing the cooking.
Is it like a different cake per pal as well, or?
No, well, no. There are different types of cake, but the different types of cake affect like the eggs basically. Like the one that we're using now is the one that gives you 2 eggs per cake, basically. Which obviously way more efficient if you're trying to breed things for specific stats, because you get double the chance of getting the thing you want. But yeah, we haven't really done that much breeding in multiplayer because it's like we can't really pay attention to that while we're doing all this other shit.
Yeah.
Whereas in single player, when I played it by myself, it was like I can just hang around in base for a while, and because mainly just to, experiment with the system when I can spend time and fiddle around with it. Maybe it's one of those things where it's like, it would be great if I could breed a mount that has all the like useful mount skills, like reduced stamina cost and like faster speed. But like, does the time you spend doing that outweigh the bonus that you get from moving faster in the world afterwards? Probably, if you're trying to get a really good mount. Although, of course, this game also has the ability to transfer pals between saves. So, like, do it once and then you'll have that pal at the start of every save. If you play it again. Not that I think there's any real reason to replay this game, really. We'll see, though. We still have quite a way to go. I think we've just done the 5th tower out of 8. And we're kind of on the way to the 6th, but I'm slightly behind in levels now, so I actually need to catch up a bit. Might have to actually go out and grind some. Well, weirdly, you can grind the bosses because they just. A lot of stuff respawns on a timer. Like if you defeat a boss pal, it's like it will respawn effectively the next in-game day, however long that is, like 10 minutes or something. But the tower bosses, you can just do them again immediately. And they give you quite a lot of experience. So you can easily just grind experience off there if you need experience. Just slightly weird. You can't even capture them any longer.
Oh.
Or not directly.
What? Right, so they're not there are what other ones of that in the world then?
Well, so the way it used to work is because the bosses in the towers are represented as the person riding on the pal while you fight them. So it's basically like one model or whatever.
Okay.
So previously there used to be a glitch where you could capture those in the boss fight, even though you weren't meant to be able to.
Oh, what? And you'd capture the dude?
Well, you'd capture the whole thing, like the person and the pal as one unit. And obviously you can capture NPCs out in the world. Like, it's quite a low percentage chance for most balls, but you can do it.
Okay, that's quite weird. I didn't know that was a thing.
But now they've just kind of well, I don't know if this applies to all bosses because we've only found it for the first boss, but they've kind of legitimized a way to get that person and pal anyway. Like, if you do a side quest for them, they eventually, the side quest says they'll give you their sphere, like Palworld. But like, what that means is they're giving you the PAL version of them and the PAL that they ride.
Weird.
And then you can repeat that quest to get multiple copies of them in order to like compress them and make them. It's like, this is just weird shit going on here.
That is quite odd.
How do you have multiple copies of yourself in a ball?
Because it's all digital, man. All right.
I don't know.
Pokemon go in the computer. Like, PALs go in the Digiball.
The PALs go in the PAL box, which is sort of computer-esque looking, but I don't think they ever try and like specifically say that it's data or like Pokemon does. It's quite weird.
Pokemon aren't real.
Yep, they definitely aren't.
Unlike pals.
Yep.
That are very real.
Oh, very real.
Well,
especially the breeding pals.
The guns are definitely real.
They're the realest.
Cake.
Anyway, that's Palworld.
I'll get that cake for the breeding.
Yeah. I played a brief bit of Rift of the Necrodancer because there was a new free song.
Oh.
An Among Us song.
Oh, okay.
Which is a kind of okay song. I guess it's obviously a Danny B remix, so that's all you need. Have Danny B remix practically anything and it'll be great.
It'll be fine, yeah. Can't go wrong.
And there was also a previous patch that I skipped over that had. It's weird because it's like they called it like the OST Volume 2 for Rift of the Necrodancer, and you get one free track from that as well because it's another DLC. But like, I don't know, does that imply that these are like songs that were going to be in the game at some point and like?
Or is it like a complete replacement? Like you can do.
No, it's not. Yeah, it doesn't do the Crypt of the Necrodancer thing where you can literally replace the tunes that play in the levels or anything. It just seems like a few extra new songs that they've just. I guess maybe it was just like, we want to make more songs that are like Rift of the Necrodancer themed and not remixes.
Oh.
Because they did also do, I think I must have talked about this previously, but they did also do like some more of the original Crypt songs remixed into Rift.
Okay, yes.
So yeah, there was that. And Rocket League. And I'm done.
You're still playing Rocket League. Okay, yeah.
Rob, you've played some more Zenless, apparently.
Yeah, I should probably talk about that and try and talk about that in the context of Endfield, I guess. Like, but I have such a hard time passing Zenless, and maybe that's true. Maybe I'll have the exact same problem with any of these gacha games, right? Because they're pretty dense. But like,
the thing is, like, when I watched you play Zenless for a little bit, or went through the menus with you as well, it was like a lot of it is actually the same. It's just like not called the same thing, obviously.
No, yeah, a lot of the language is different, but a lot, the gacha-iness of it is very similar. What is it? The potential has a different meaning in Zenless that I still don't fully understand, but I think that's they have, but it might be the same. They have this. Everyone refers to like the duplicates of characters that you pull as mindscapes in Zenless terminology. So like when people talk, when I've been trying to watch YouTubers describe the game to try and get a handle on it a little better, but it always devolves into a lot of weird turns of phrase and combinations of words that don't mean anything. So when they're talking about it just ends up coming like, oh, I need to put a salad in. I need to coat this tomato in chocolate, and then
it's like watching people who know these games talk about them isn't going to help.
I need an M2 chocolate, and combine that with sub DPS, and it's like blah 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 blah, and that they just introduced a new patch just came out, and they introduced like this mechanic called Lumiflux and stuff like that, and I'm like, I don't know how that works either. There's so many words. The word salad is immense in this game, and it's just I have a real hard time understanding how almost everything works as a result. It is dense and complex, but like the core of it is pretty gacha similar. Yeah, like they don't call them banners, they call them channels. They don't call them you don't have weapons, you have wenjins that I mentioned before. But you upgrade but the wenjins have discs that are like supposed to be some sort of they're like music tracks that you attach to your weapon, and somehow that does stat stuff, but you want sets of those in order to attach to, which is kind of like materia, I guess, but they're just like stat boosts, but you need combinations of them and sets of them in order to make certain bonuses. Not all the discs aren't equal, even within the same. They all have slightly different variants on their stat. I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't really but this is the problem I have kind of about even how to approach talking about Zenless, because it's like I don't understand it. And yet I'm still playing quite a lot of it. It's filled that role where it's managed to get its hooks in me because it's got dailies, and I think almost because of nothing else.
Classic.
I'm just going into it because like there's an element of like there's usually an event on where it's like just come say hello to this event and you'll get stuff, and I'm like, well, I better log in then.
Classic tricks.
I know.
I
better log in and just do that thing to get some stuff which I eventually may understand and use.
Well, it's like. It's interesting that like it still works on you even though you don't know what you're getting.
Kinda, yeah. There's an element of I do know what I'm getting. Sure. I know that I need to be farming the currency known as polychrome in the game, because ultimately that's what you can trade in for the item that grants you pulls.
Right. Yep.
So
2 steps.
Yeah. So I then need a large quantity of pulls before I want to invest in the exclusive banners or limited banners or the exclusive channel, I think is the Zenless term for them. If I really want the S rank character that's within that limited banner, right? So I'm aware of all of that, and that's what I'm doing. But the ways you can earn that polychrome are numerous, and at least in the point where I am in the game, where I haven't maxed out the story and stuff like that, there is a bewildering number of stuff happening whenever I do anything. Like, go talk to this guy, like, oh, you've got like 5 different things I can now claim in a billion different menus in order to give me some of this currency in various ways. Like, almost anything, like, take a footstep, like, stand on a snail, and it's like, yeah, you just earned all this stuff is just suddenly now, but you've got to go to menus and stuff to actually claim that stuff. It doesn't just give it to you. You, like, you unlock the ability to claim that stuff out of the ether, whenever whenever you do anything, and there's loads of it.
Does it feel like a lot of that stuff is actually just one-offs? Because
there's a bunch of it that is one-offs. Yeah, the game does there is a. And to be honest with you, I'm not going to remember how you get to half of these menus. That is half the problem. It's just I know there's a menu for that somewhere. I cannot remember how to navigate to it. But there is a section where you can get to where you can see specifically the polychrome availability at this moment in time, and your
man, that would be nice.
And your percentage towards how much of that you've achieved, and it splits that up into these are limited time events. And this is permanent stuff you can do at any time.
Right.
So that's actually a pretty useful screen. I can go into it. Because to be honest, in the last week, maybe 2 weeks at this point, I've done very little story stuff, which is a problem. And I'll come back to that. But the fact is, I can go into it and say, oh, that's a limited time event. Oh, that's only got a week left. Okay, right. I better be... If I'm going to be maximizing what I can gain, I probably need to focus on this limited event while it's on.
But if you don't play it enough, you'll never catch up.
I will never catch, and that is the problem. Yeah, and I'm at the point where some of where you can go and what you can do is story limited. So you need to get to a certain point in the story for. Basically, where I'm at is I think I've only really made it through chapter 1 of the story. I think it is, and chapter 2 is where I'm at now. But but at that point, pretty much that's when the game kind of lets you off the leash and goes, right, now you have access to events, now you have access to this stuff, now you have access to all of the combat trials that are appropriate for your level, and even if you have narratively not encountered that stuff or have any reason to encounter that stuff. So there's suddenly and it's weird, right? It's you can go do I guess it's for players that want to start a second account, right? And don't necessarily want to engage in all of the story again to get through it. You could theoretically ignore the story and just do event stuff. At a certain point, but there are still some things that are locked behind story progress, and as a result, certain things don't work. So I guess one of the things it's started getting me to do is to spend quality time with the agents, which basically just means they'll follow you around an area of the map, and you go do some stuff in that, The one I've had access to so far was one of your starting characters, Anby. The tutorial basically was go spend some quality time with her. And it goes, oh, I know, why don't you go to the arcade and play some games with her? And you're oh, okay, cool, I'll go do that. I get there and I play some games, which is kind of interesting in a way because there's as I mentioned before, there are these there's quite a lot of mini games in Zenless. So you go here and you're you could play this version of competitive Snake if you want. But if you go there, when you're spending quality time, it's you'll be playing it as a 2v2 battle because you're spending quality time with this. So so it changes the game slightly that you're playing because you're in that state. And it's okay, that's kind of cool. That's kind of neat. That's an excuse to go play these mini games and do it in a setting that narratively makes sense. That's kind of neat. So I come out of that and it's and then it suggests to me, okay, why don't you go do this thing that I've never heard of? Why don't you go go to do gardening or something? And I'm I don't know where that is. If it's in this area, I've never seen it, and I can't. And my map doesn't tell me where it is. The quality time mode says I can't leave this area right now because it limits you to where you are. So I was I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I guess I have to exit this thing because I can't do the thing you're asking me to do.
No. So what is that actually a mistake, or is it just it didn't put a GPS marker down and then you didn't see the one door somewhere you had to walk up to?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it definitely didn't. It definitely didn't mark where it was in the area, and it's not, as I say, it's not in my map as a player. It's not a thing I know about as a player. So maybe it's not on my map because I don't know about it, but. Or I've not seen it or not clicked the right thing at some point. So I don't know what that was about. But also, when it means you go in and get yourself involved in these time-limited events, you're talking to characters and talking about events that I haven't seen. They go and talk about, oh, yeah, you met this character doing this thing. They're oh, hey, I know you. And they're I don't know you. what's going on here? And it's like, oh yeah, they helped me out on this thing, and it's like presumably that was a time limited event a few events ago. Or,
right, okay.
I mean, maybe it was, or maybe it was part of the story. I don't know. But they're talking about things with characters, and like the relationships don't make sense to me. Like, I don't know who these people are. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why they hate each other or like each other. But hey, there's a mini game where I can run a starfish stall at the beach and make jewelry and stuff, and then get a giant Hoover out, and then go run along the beach and hoover up some seashells for a bit. It's like it's weird and it's varied. It's massively varied. I'll give it that. Like, there is an awful lot of weird. Like, the last event I got involved with was a kind of a vampires. There is a Vampire Survivors style game in the arcade, but they did a variant of it where you're. This event didn't involve any of the core combat or any of the agents or anything like that. This was just a play this mini game event. Where you're auto firing, and it's a vertical scrolling shooter, but you still have to pick up the gems that the things you're killing are dropping, and that then gives you the ability to get more marbles, as they called them. What they actually mean is it's the shots that are coming out of you, and then you can upgrade those marbles, and then you can merge those marbles, blah blah blah, every level you get. So they were making a sort of like also like a mini roguelike kind of thing out of the shmup, and it's go do that thing several times, fight these bosses, gain a bunch of polychrome. Yay, you did it.
I mean, the one time
maybe I
I've
should be
heard
doing
people
maybe I
talking
should be
about
doing
stuff like
more,
that.
yeah, maybe I should be doing more of the actual combat, which seems to be quite a small portion of this game, and it's actually the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was about to say. Is like the one time I've heard people mention things like that, it's usually in a way where they're like, I can't believe I have to play this bullshit mini game instead of the actual game.
Right, yeah, I get that, for sure. Because, or my problem with Zenless from the start has been, like, it seems to be a thing that Endfield does way better, which is, like, presentation of cutscenes and presentation of story and stuff like that is quite text heavy, sometimes with voice acting, sometimes not. And there's a lot of it, too much of it, really, before you're actually even doing anything. And I guess because these mini games are flitting in and out, like, they tutorialize every single one of them. So when you're trying to get into the event, like, you got to go through the tutorial. Oh, great, here's another tutorial. So it's not
like Endfield doesn't have a massive tutorial problem itself with all the factory stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's an absolute nightmare to get through in the early game.
Yeah, I mean, and I get it. Like, they're introducing new stuff all the time, so they've got to tell you how that new stuff works to a degree. I feel like sometimes, like, the way they tutorialize stuff makes it seem more complicated than it actually is, though. Like, so when you're let off the reins a little bit, and you actually start just playing the games yourself, you're like, oh right, yeah, no, there isn't. And maybe it's a language problem. Maybe it's just how they write their descriptions of things. Something like that. No, this isn't actually all that complex. Like, I get what you're doing here. You just needed to let me play it. Yeah, but then all of that aside, I do enjoy the combat in that game. Like, it's a simple, in like deceptively simple in terms of what you're actually doing. You don't have you don't have many controls. Like unlike Enfield, the focus is on switching characters pretty heavily. So, you know, you got your basics, you got your EXs, but it's deceptive in that, like, the amount of controls you have aren't that many. But then the way you try and get your teams to interact with each other in order to get your damage up there is where the true complexity of this thing lies. And it is real complex if you want to get into it. And that is the problem, as I said before, with trying to learn anything off YouTube videos, because they go hard on that. And I'm like, I don't understand anything of what you've just said. I'm just going to slash my sword around a bit and hope for the best, I guess. Do my dodges at the right time. Do my chain attacks. Like, yeah, I don't understand manual chains. I kind of get what you're saying about limiting me to not using the automatic chain attacks, but, like, I don't know when I'm in the state where it's a bad time to use chain attacks, so I don't know, I guess I'll just do them. I feel like that's another thing that I've heard people say in comparison with Enfield and stuff, where it's just like, obviously the more classic
versions of these gacha games is like, because they are all kind of similar to Zenless, I think, is that they're much more based on, what they call the rotation, where it's like you push the buttons in the specific order, but you have to know that, like, maybe you need to pause or whatever, and like maybe you don't need to push this button at this moment. And like Endfield, only in the very like peak of late game have I even started to get into that with Endfield, where it's like maybe you don't want to instantly activate this combo attack that's just popped up, because maybe you need another thing to hit first.
Right, yeah. It's all about like building the pro way to play Zenless is about building your states to a certain point and then doing something. Like,
right.
Like when you're using a single character, learn a specific way of doing their combos within themselves, so it builds up the stack of status effect, or in some characters' cases, their own meters to a certain point where it's it's good. Then switch to another character to get theirs up to a certain point, and maybe you're using some of the switches in order to accelerate certain characters' status points, because some characters have do stuff on switch, like with a switch assist or something like that, or a certain dash assist occurs. Yeah. Anyway, switching is a whole mechanic unto itself, and the rules of it are different per character. And then start doing the stuff that would otherwise be automatic and unleashing your big guys, because you've got everyone in the right state, and then the damage numbers go through the ceiling. And it's like, that's fine. Like, I get that. I just think that where I'm at with it myself, I'm finding I have absolutely no idea how I learn to do that.
Right, yeah. Like, is it ever going to actually tutorialize that, essentially?
Yeah, it has these things that it calls cooperation exercises that are kind of like character intros. Like, here's their thing. What it then doesn't necessarily tell you is like how you combine those with other characters, how you synergize. And it's... I guess that is just through reading an awful lot about the quite dense text about what all the moves do and how they function and how they affect stats, of which there's a lot of stats, right? There's an awful lot of stats per character, a lot of which I don't really understand either. I'm having as I said, I think that's my biggest problem with it. Like, when it comes to like, maybe I shouldn't be worrying about this stuff at this point. Maybe I shouldn't be worrying about team composition. Yeah, maybe I don't need to be worrying about team composition, particularly at this stage. Except perhaps I should be worrying about team composition, because this is a gacha game. And if I want to go for and I'm not going to be playing it perhaps as much as you're playing Endfield, for instance. Sure. Am I going to have to be... perhaps I should be really thinking about what I want to pull for. And what I want to actually try and attain. Because if I get it wrong, then it's going to take me, as a somewhat casual player, a lot longer to correct a mistake. Or rejig a team into a way that makes sense. I probably don't need to care about any of that until I finish the story, which at the moment I'm making incredibly slow progress on. Because I'm getting distracted by everything else this game does. This hasn't been a particularly insightful discussion on the game. I realise that. It's my thoughts on it are as messy as I think gacha games generally are. But I don't get the impression that Endfield is as messily designed as Zenless is.
Well, maybe.
Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But like, maybe it's just the clean aesthetic they choose for their UI. I don't know. But I do like Zenless's style. I do like its character designs. I do like its music is pretty good. Probably not Endfield good, but it's pretty good when it gets going. I do find the combat fun. It is for some reason drawing me back. I just might not. I don't really understand necessarily why it's drawing me back, but it is. It's got its hooks in me. Maybe I'm a mark. Maybe I'm a gambling addict and I don't really realize.
Well, at least you're not spending money.
I'm not spending money, no.
You're a Bellatra addict.
Yeah, maybe.
Fake gambling.
So yeah. I'll check in with me in a bit. I feel like I've got a lot to learn. Let's put it that way. Like, an absolute boatload to learn. But it is taking away from me actually playing other stuff, because I don't know, there is something like you can just jump into Zenless and do like, well, I'm just going to do like half an hour to just clear it, just claim some stuff and then jump out.
I mean,
Like,
that does seem to be the advantage of obviously not the same case with Enfield, because Enfield has like the open. It's like playing an MMO.
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
You're going to you actually have to go places, whereas in Zenless it seems more like you're just loading into a place essentially.
Yeah,
You're loading into places.
The only thing you have to commit to in Zenless really is like if you get into a story sequence, right, and then you're reading a lot or having one of those things.
You have to get through some text.
Yeah, and that stuff can take a while, and sometimes it doesn't necessarily allow you to stop. It has this state that it calls immersive storytelling, where if you're in that state, you then can't break out to do side stuff. And so that might mean, and that might be a sequence of things. Like, so I might be like, leading up to a story moment, but then I've got to, once I've had the chat and it's dropped me in the world, I could still be in immersive storytelling mode, so I can't then go do some random training, for instance.
Like the only place that really happens in Endfield is like with those character specific story segments. When those bits where you're only playing as the character and the administrator, it's because there's a forced screen at the start of that to say like you're only going to be playing as these characters. That's your indication that you're then locked into that for as long as it takes.
Yeah, I think I can at any point like just drop that at any point. But then when I load back into the game, I'm still going to be in immersive storytelling mode, if you know what I mean, which isn't necessarily conducive to completing your dailies if you're going for that. So it's I think if you are going to do some, and I think that's probably why I haven't done a great deal of the story at this point, because I haven't been committing longer periods of time to doing it. Because when I've got longer periods of time, I have been playing games like Blueprints.
Yeah, that will definitely take longer.
Yeah, I'm still playing that game. I figured I should probably stop talking about Zenless. That's why I did that. Blueprints is cool. Like, I think I said last time that it didn't necessarily. It didn't warm itself. What's the word? I didn't warm to it.
It didn't warm itself.
I didn't warm.
Sit down in front of a fire.
Failing to warm itself.
Yeah, I'm not. It took me a while to warm to it that way around. Let's put it that, because it is. I think
you
it's
think of like endear itself.
Yeah, I think that's what I was going for. It didn't
warm itself to me.
It didn't become warm enough for me to become warmed to it.
In this hot climate, I require more things to be warm. It took a while to get its hooks in me, because the start of it is pretty slow, because you're not necessarily solving puzzles from the very start. You're
discovering puzzles that you're going to be solving in the future.
Yeah, as it turns out, yes. Like, there are things that I saw at the very start of the game that I kind of had an inkling was probably going to be something, but I'm only just many hours in, like, starting to reach the point where it's like, oh, okay, I know what these represent now. And a lot of those things have actually been like things where like, there's been clues to what that puzzle is, but I just didn't realize they were clues. Do you know what I mean? Like, there were breadcrumbs along the way that perhaps meant I could have been solving these challenges sooner. But like, I got to the point where there was like a much more obvious clue about what it is, and I'm like, oh, that's what all of that other stuff I've been looking at meant. And now I can go solve the thing, or begin solving the thing, because not every solution is fast. Even once you know the thing, you've still got to do some legwork to gather the information to help you solve the thing. Without spoiling too much, for instance, I'm on one at the moment where I need to basically build rooms in every physical position of the house, because something changes in those rooms based on where they're built. In the layout, and so I can gain information from that in order to perhaps give me some clue to something else to do, which I'm sure will only be a part of another puzzle. There's a lot of bits of puzzle that you don't necessarily put together at once. And sometimes that's cool, because sometimes that can be enough, right? You'll solve a little bit of something, and that'll actually give you progress. for something that perhaps you can't completely solve, and then you'll come back to that thing later, completely solve it, and then it gives you some more. And it's like, that's kind of nice. I kind of like the puzzles that are set out that way. It's also quite nice that there are a fair few puzzles that, despite the roguelike nature of the game, do have permanent effects. More so, perhaps, than it lets on. Like, it tells you about some of the things, like, outright. It gives you a big old message on screen saying, this has been permanently changed. But there's a bunch of stuff that is permanently changed when you do it that it doesn't do that with. And they're almost always, like, beneficial to you. Like, there'll be, like, quality of life reasons for why that's a permanent change and why that's, you know, they don't make you go through all of that again to go do that thing. And sometimes that's surprising, and sometimes that's like, oh yeah, of course they did that. Because that would be a royal boil ache if they didn't. But there are, I guess the problem with the pacing of this means is that there can be rather large sections of time that you're putting into it where you just don't feel like you're making progress. I've had a notebook with me, and the game does just straight up say, have a notebook, you'll need it. And they're not wrong. Where I'm just doing runs and I'm maybe seeing something of interest and I'm writing it down, but I'm not actually solving anything. And some of that is because it's a roguelike, so you can get boned on a run. You just might not pull the rooms with the right door layout that you need to do the thing that you're trying to do, or you just can't make it to the destination that you're trying to get to. And it's like, well, okay, that day is over. I've got to start afresh in order to try and do the thing that I know I need to do. There are certain combinations of rooms for certain puzzles. There's one puzzle in particular I've done the first step of, but I need to go back and do the next step of. But in order to do that next step, I need to get a sequence of rooms out of the random pool and connect those together in order to be able to do the thing. And that sequence has happened to me precisely once in my entire playthrough so far, and I've not been able to make it happen again, and that's quite annoying. Because it's like, I know there's a thing I need to solve, and I know how to solve it, but I can't solve it. So there's a bit of that, there's a bit of this, and there's an awful lot of mystery I still know is a puzzle, but I have absolutely no idea what it's leading to or how to solve it. And that stuff is interesting, but also, like, back of your mind frustrating, because you're just like, I don't know what I need to do for this, but I know it's a thing. It's interesting. I'm not sure I'm on the same level as the media was about Blueprints. Let me put it that way. Sure. Like, I think it's good, but I don't think it's as mind-blowing as, say, Giant Bomb thought it was. It's
right. It's not Fez or whatever.
No, it's a cool puzzle game, but it's
Tunico.
Yeah,
no, not that that's that similar, but yeah.
Tunic definitely has elements. Yeah, it has Fez-like and subversive elements to it, right? Like, yeah, I do put it in a similar category.
And you don't feel like you still might not have reached the real thing.
Well, maybe, because I remember hearing some people talk about it in a non-spoilery way, saying they hit credits and they weren't done. It's like there was more stuff to do, and I'm like, well, what is that more stuff? Is that just puzzles they didn't solve, or is there actually more to it past credits? Like, what is that? Will I care? Will I have my usual thing where I hit credits and go, I'm done?
50% achievement.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty cool. It's a very quiet game. So if you want a game to play that's not going to wake up anyone in your house, like there's
like a child,
like a child, yeah. There's not a great deal of audio in this thing. Which
similar to like The Witness or something.
Kind of, yeah. So that may be nice. It's a very witnessy vibe in a lot of ways. So that game's pretty cool. I'm trying to think what else I've actually been doing. Like, I ran into problems. I haven't done too much on my PlayStation 1 of late because I ran into problems. I think I mentioned it before, that getting the video sync through my OSSC was problematic in some games. But I moved some stuff in the cabinet, and it got much worse. So like certain game, like the F197 that I was playing has become very unstable through the video sync. So I've not been playing that anymore. I've kind of given up on that, I think, for now. I did go and just play Silverstone just to see what it looks like and remind myself what old Silverstone as a track was like. And it's like, yeah, this is pretty cool. So I went and did that. I ticked that off, so I don't have to play the whole season, Zach. Like your concern is, like, I saw the tracks I wanted to see, and then it's like, yeah, okay, maybe I'll stop. Maybe I'll go do something else. So I've not been doing too much on there. I did a little bit of Forza, but nothing too much to say there. Man, I'm sure there was something else, but like I've forgotten at this point. I really want to dig into Densha Attack. Sorry, not Densha Attack, Densha Attack, because Spotify spoiled me on some of the soundtrack because, like, its theme tune is done by the doot 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 Daytona guy, and it's flipping amazing.
Sweet.
So, like, yeah, I have to play this game. I have to. Like, it is. I mean, I played the demo and I kind of loved the demo, so like, yeah, the full thing seems to be everything I wanted from it, by all accounts. So yeah, I will definitely be diving into that. I want to dive into Halo, obviously, but maybe Zach and I should do that together.
Is Densha Attack like a Game Pass or is
it's on Game Pass? Yep.
Right. Okay.
But it's also out on Steam. It's out everywhere, pretty much.
Presumably, it's not expensive.
No. Usual sort of indie price. I think it's like 16 quid, something like that on Steam. So not. I believe that's off my dome. But yeah,
does it have multi-track drifting?
It does have multi-track drifting.
It does. Sweet. I mean, my name's Train, so I should probably play Densha.
Yeah, it's a cool looking game. Star Fox, obviously. That's the thing I was missing. That's the thing I was missing. I've still been doing runs in Star Fox, and I still haven't bothered to try and unlock expert mode yet. I should really get on with that and do that. But yeah, not much to add to that conversation either. It's still rad. It's again, like a good sign for maybe what Ocarina will be. Let's put it that like.
Yeah, I don't know if you can tell anything about Ocarina from Star Fox remake, but maybe, who knows?
Just that maybe they care about what they're doing with remakes. I guess that's the only...
Okay, fair. But I mean, I should hope they care about Ocarina. That's like the big one. It's their Final Fantasy VII to redo, right? Isn't it?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. I saw a rumor they might be going up against GTA with Ocarina, so we're the only ones brave enough to do it.
Yeah, that'll be a release. That'll be a release window for the ages.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing I said I was playing was Onrush. Right, I did go and play that. That game is still a lot of fun. I think after spending some time away from it and coming back to it, I kind of... Because you saw me play it once, Dan, and you were like, I hate this.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know if that was like the gameplay part you hated, but like the audio presentation part of it, because it is quite hit you over the head with a DJ deck kind of presentation. It's a bit heavy. It's a bit much. I get it. But it kind of works in its context in the middle of the fight and stuff like that. And I do think there is legs in Onrush. It was poorly marketed when it came out. Like, nobody knew what it was, even though it had a Game Pass and a PlayStation Plus presence. Like, it still didn't. For some reason, nobody tried it, let alone buy it. It was a very large commercial failure. But I actually think there's a great game under it, which is. A huge bummer to me, and I'm not alone on that. There is a relatively vocal community behind Onrush. Like, you can, I think, set up like private matches still, but there's the game was somewhat like poorly set up to be like you can't unlock any cosmetics unless you're online. Like, all of that was done through online play, pretty much. So where the game is today, you can't really unlock any of that, which is a bummer. It has a pretty robust, like, play a single match setup. Like, you can go set up a custom game on any level, with any track, with any changing weather conditions, with any limitations to what vehicles are allowed. You can change some of the rules around. You can change how the fodder works. Like, there's a bunch of like configuration options you can do, which is all really cool, apart from the fact that it's missing the one button, randomize everything, please. Which would be lovely. I would love that. Just put that in the game, please. I'll be a happy person. They're not going to do it, obviously, now. But it also suffered from, at launch, like some what I think are mildly unfair reviews. Because this was during the age where I don't know if this was an EA published game. I can't really remember, but it was Codemasters, right? Codemasters having taken on some of the Evolution Studios guys after they got taken down by Sony post Drive Club, and it was somewhat unfairly reviewed because of its online structure, because it had the cosmetic system that you could only progress through online, and because there were microtransactions that let you buy into loot boxes to get that cosmetic stuff. I think people had kind of had enough of loot boxes at that point, and so the game was fairly, I think, quite marked down for that, when it actually has very next to no impact on how the game plays. You can barely see the cosmetics during an actual fight because all the cars have like a heavy outline around them, so you can tell what team they're on, whether they're the blue team or the orange team. Right. So like actually seeing the cosmetics through it, mostly pointless.
Yeah.
So I do think that's a somewhat unfair criticism, but for those not aware, like Onrush's gameplay is like unlike anything else. Like they have this idea where it's not a race, like it's a stampede. That's what they call it. So like all the cars on the level are kept within a certain range of each other. If you fall back too far, it teleports you back into the action. So it's never about like being first in the race particularly. It's about what you do in that space, like taking out opponents, like do the burnout thing, do the burnout, take down challenges or whatever. Like that is this game. Like it's about the takedown challenges. Knocking down fodder craft just to get boosts, so you can then boost into people and use your vehicle specific abilities to aid your team around them, or aid you to take down more things, or to complete the objectives, of which there are a very small selection, but there is a selection of objective matches where it's like, you know, like a King of the Hill, but the hill is constantly moving with the stampede, and you've got to have more of your team in the hill than the opponents. So there's obviously encouraging you to do more takedowns. Yay! Everyone loves takedowns. It feels like for a first attempt at this concept, for like an Onrush version 1, let's say, like it was pretty well structured, and like a version 2 go at it, I feel like could have improved and added to it in a lot of meaningful ways. Like I wish the vehicle abilities were stronger. I wish there was more reason for you to pick a certain vehicle over another. Like, because I don't think that's particularly valuable. Like they do have their abilities and they do have their different ways of playing, but like, do they really turn the tide of a battle? I'm not sure they do. In essence, pick whatever you want to do; it'll be fine. So maybe they should have worked on. Maybe they could work on that a little more. Maybe they would make the audio presentation less troublesome to some. That kind of stuff. I feel like an Onrush version 2 would have been like a superb game, and it's a bummer this was never given a chance, so they never went back to it. So it was nice to go back to it and play a bit of that. It's cool, and now I can whenever I want because I've got the physical disc, bastards.
Yeah, can't stop him now.
Yeah, that's me. I'm out for the week.
Cool. What am I doing? I nearly played through the epilogue of Red Dead 2.
Hey!
Yeah, so I'm getting towards the end.
I like the epilogue of Red Dead 2.
Yeah, the epilogue is good. There's 2 parts to the epilogue, and the first part is like you're on a farm, and that's really good. Obviously the pacing is very different to the dramatic epic finale of Arthur's story or whatever. But yeah, it's cool, and it like leads up into into Red Dead 1, obviously, and so looking forward to the dramatic ending of the epilogue.
But it's nice, isn't it? It's like a wild change of pace. It's happier times after everything. It is, and as you say, a really good lead into Red Dead 1. And long, like for an epilogue.
Yeah.
It is lengthy.
Yeah, there's 2 bars. I mean,
that's
I know that the next mission to play is build a house. So
right.
That. So yeah, it's cool. And man, the game is just absurdly beautiful.
Sure,
it's ridiculous.
How are you playing it? Are you playing the PS4 Pro version? Like, 'cause you had the PS4 version back in the day, right?
Yeah, So, I mean, I don't think there's one of those official like upgrade things for PS5, but it just it's obviously patched to work absolutely fine on PS5 or whatever. So, but I don't think there's there's no PS5 upgrade or anything like that.
Right.
But yeah, it just runs really well, obviously on a PS5, but it doesn't have like I think it still runs at 30 and stuff.
Yeah,
in 4K. I think it's like, rather than it being checkerboarded, it's like full 4K 30.
I don't think any of the console versions officially have a 60 FPS mode. I think Microsoft may have done a back compat thing for Series X that makes it run at 60, but it's not a official thing.
Yeah,
I think.
But you can run it at 60 on PC.
On PC, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. But just, man, ridiculous. Like, the amount of detail in that world is just crazy. And it is very immersive. Like, you get, into it. And it's like, I know it's still got the Rockstar-isms, but it does feel like quite grown up, compared to a lot of, like, not that there's anything, I mean, obviously, like, Nintendo games like Zelda has a kind of Pixar-esque kind of totally universalness that, like, in the way that Pixar movies don't feel childish in any way. You know what I mean? They feel universal, but yeah, obviously, Red Dead is not for children.
Anyway,
yeah, but it's also like there's a certain, even up to like GTA 5, there's a kind of edgelordiness about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I do.
And Red Dead is like properly. They went slightly too far, and it is a bit depressing. But I think it's better on the second or on later playthroughs. Like I said, I still think I loved Red Dead 1 for being the spaghetti western. I'm the man with no name, Clint Eastwood kind of thing. And so I was a bit sad of Red Dead 2 that you constantly go east instead, right?
Yeah.
The east and south or whatever. But now it's like, okay, I get what they were doing, and you get that whole breadth of different landscapes and stuff in that world, which all look so good. Yeah. Cool. And now, I mean, you're going west at the end of the story. By the time you reach the epilogue, you're actually going west.
Yeah.
Literally into... There are actual missions that are in areas that are in Red Dead 1, right?
Well, they never did do anything with the weird, like, area where you can go all the way down to Armadillo, right? It's not in the single-player mode. And I don't know if they actually touched it in Red Dead Online when they cared about that.
Well, that was what it was meant for, I think, for Red Dead Online. There's no Mexico, but there is the full America map from Red Dead 1 in the game. But there is a mission in the epilogue where you go to the canyon that's on kind of the... Well, it's east of Armadillo, but it's not that far away. That you go to in Red Dead 1 at the start quite a bit. That you go there with Sadie, when she's a full-on gunslinger.
Right.
It's quite nostalgic. And the music is like, they start to bring in, once you're playing as John, they start to bring in. They're like teasing it, but they're starting to bring in the Red Dead 1 theme, right? I think by the last mission, it goes full blast, but yeah. And the thing happened to me the classic thing that happened that famously happened to you, that it was one, because there's multiple moments in Red Dead 2 where there's a special song,
Right, yeah.
specially recorded. And if you famously went and picked a flower during that, when that happened in Red Dead 1 and it cancelled it.
Immediately.
That happened to me.
Oh, really? In 2? So I don't remember that happening to me in 2. So maybe I was aware of it from 1 and just didn't pick flowers during a moment.
I think, and it's a really nice one. It's the end of the epilogue part 1, and it's a Willie Nelson song.
Right.
It's like cruel, cruel world. I'm moving on.
Yes.
And you're riding through a beautiful valley. But I had just watched the cutscene with John Marston, and I was like, and he's got the outfit by that point from the first game. But I was like, but his beard is way too big. So I was like riding back home to shave, and it cancelled the song. But, I was like, no, I want proper John Marston to look like he did in the. And then anyway, so I cancelled the thing. So I don't watch it on YouTube.
That's quite funny.
Yeah. But yeah, it's great. I even played a bit more Red Dead 1 as well, just to go back and see, because I got that. I can switch between them easily.
Man, there's a game they should actually remake.
I do. Well, yeah, I did. There's definitely the shooting is maybe better in Red Dead 1. Frankly, the shooting specifically. Yeah. But yeah, so I hope they get the shooting right in GTA 6. Make it fun. But yeah, we shall see. Yeah, and then I think I played some Dirt Rally 2.
Oh, amazing. Yeah.
But I suck. I think I just went to, because I never know what to do. I'm not going to play through a cold campaign, so I just went to like Racebox, and I was like, I'll choose Wales, and I'll choose the Subaru Impreza, right? And it's like, that thing's really fast, and those tracks are really narrow. And I basically feathering the throttle. I was like, oh yeah, I remember this. This is really stressful. I'm like feathering the throttle through most of it, because if you floor it, you basically go fly straight to a tree or straight off the track.
Yeah, Dirt Rally was like so much harder than
it's really
than
hard.
any of the mainline Dirt games, right? Like
it's properly hard to get round without going off.
Yeah,
like.
You have got to take it more careful. You have got to drive it less. Or the way I felt about anything that tries to be a bit more simmy, right? Like you're not drifting it the way you drifted it in them old Colin McRae games. Like you're not doing it like that at all. You've got to drive it like almost more grippy, or try and maintain the grip.
Do on a hairpin, like if
you got to do a bit of it.
Yeah, but like I'm like because normally on a track it's like, I don't know, maybe not realistically, but it's like go full throttle and then down the straight and then brake at the right moment to go around the corner. But with this, it's like I literally can't go full throttle because I'll just shoot off this fucking thing.
Yeah, the moments where Dirt Rally gives you a straight are actually almost the most terrifying bits of the game. Yeah,
it's the worst when there's a straight. Trying to keep it up.
Like, I don't know how realistic it really is, but it's like they're trying to simulate like the lightness, right? Whereas like when you're going really fast, the steering feels light because like you touch it at all and it's going to start swinging around all over the damn place.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You're skitting, you're almost hopping over the road, like laterally as well, and it's like that's really hard to control.
Like, obviously, if I practiced, I could get better. But like, the only time I can floor it is like immediately after I basically stopped for a very sharp hairpin.
Sure. Yeah.
And even then, I don't know if that's actually the best way to get back up to speed. But anyway, but yeah. So I gave that, and I was like, hang on, is this just because I've chosen a really fast car or something? So I tried to choose a sort of slightly less horsepower thing on like the first rally,
right? Yeah, go for a two-wheel drive of some description, or
I thought I'd stick with a four-wheel drive, so I went for sort of mid one, like a Citroen something, but no, it's like it's really narrow.
The Citroens are still pretty quick.
Yeah, it was pretty quick, and then like the Argentina's like, oh, this is pretty narrow.
Yeah, like the best you can do with the Dirt Rally cars is like go down to A class, because that's like the slowest. They're still four-wheel drive, basically.
Yeah,
like. Any of the modern cars are going to be insane.
Well, isn't the Impreza 95 Impreza an A class, right?
Yeah, I think
I was already on.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But yeah, because then once you go down lower than that, you're into like rear wheel drive, and then that's
Yeah.
a whole other problem.
Exactly.
Right, you're in like Group B cars, right? And
Well, Group B's as well, but then that's a different problem again.
Yeah.
I
Those
remember-
might be four-wheel drive, but they're insanely powerful.
I think when I first played it, I don't know if it was 1 or 2 Dirt Rally, but I had real trouble with the Stratos or whatever, which was rear wheel drive.
yeah.
Rear-wheel drive
Stratos.
is difficult.
Stratos is notoriously difficult, and it doesn't matter what game you're playing. Like they're always hard cars to drive.
Yeah, that was a nightmare. So anyway, but yeah, I have that because I was like, oh, I want these. What I actually did was I got an SSD for the PS5 because I was like, well, digital games in the future, I might as well.
Need more space.
So I slapped that in there, and that meant I could have things installed that I only play occasionally. And my idea was like, oh, I'll have Dirt Rally installed and Wipeout installed on the hard disk, and then
Nice, yeah.
I can just swap to them on occasion. But yeah, Dirt Rally is like requires, frankly, more concentration than Wipeout.
Yeah, it sure does.
Well,
yeah.
I guess it depends.
Yeah, it depends.
But yeah, I think you're probably right.
Yeah, but yeah, it's good. And like graphics wise, it doesn't really matter what the graphics are, does it?
No.
It's like they reached the point whenever that was, like 10, I don't know how long ago that was.
It's probably like
10
Con
years
McRae
ago.
4, right? Like
Yeah.
even from that point onwards, it's like it wasn't like the
just doesn't matter
graphics were pretty
anymore,
good
yeah.
in 4, right? Like
Yeah.
but like the it was just about improving the physics model from there.
Yeah.
Dirt 1,
So-
maybe Dirt 1's the tipping point.
Yeah, I don't know. Dirt Rally 1, do you mean?
No, just
Dirt
straight up
1,
Colin McRae Dirt 1, the
Straight
brown
up
one.
Dirt 1. That was the brown one.
Yeah.
I think it definitely improved from there a bit. But at this point, especially for a rally focused game, like it's like it wouldn't really matter if it would look nicer. It's not like Forza Horizon or something.
I wonder if doing like the rally cross events in Dirt Rally is like the way to get back into it.
Do you think?
Because the tracks
Because I
are
just
the
went
tracks,
straight for time trial.
yeah,
I was like,
the tracks are a bit wider.
yeah, probably.
Obviously you're doing laps, so you're learning it a bit quicker. Like you're learning the lap, I guess, rather than a whole stage. So it's a little bit easier to get into.
Oh, that's the other thing. Is like the stage is like 8 minutes long.
Yeah,
even
yeah.
When you go, it's like, jeez.
They're really long.
Yeah, but I guess that's what they like. Yeah.
Play some Colin McRae 1.
Yeah, get on the retro tip, just like you.
Hell yeah.
I probably should. Yeah. Yeah, that's me. And I probably, after Red Dead, I will probably try some Halo. I will see. For the nostalgia.
Cool.
Right. I think that's a podcast. What have we got in the video on our YouTube channel?
Well, the second
2
Enfield.
rounds of Enfield.
Yeah,
Enfield.
the second Enfield video we've talked about will be going up shortly.
Check out all the administration of the patch.
Yeah,
Well, not the whole thing, but
I got plenty of stuff in the hopper. So like, yeah,
Cool, yeah.
there'll be more Skies of Arcadia at some point.
oh yes, the playthrough. It continues.
Forever.
So check that out on our YouTube channel. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks with another Saladcast. We'll catch you then.
Sweet.
Bye.